around this rally, I see students, first-time voters. I see young organizers, people who refuse to accept that politics has to stay the way it has been, said Wisconsin Muslim Civic Alliance Executive Director Fauza Qureshi, the first speaker. Aliyah Hamaidan, who just graduated from high school and will vote in her first election this fall, says she's excited that the first vote I ever do is for somebody that I actually believe in, citing Hong's policies on data centers, childcare, and higher education. Let's get to Francesca Hong. Dana Bash, also known as Dana Fash, interviewed Francesca Hong on CNN. And they, of course, presented it as why the GOP spent $3 million to help this Democratic Socialist win.
In Wisconsin, some of those people are actually Republicans.
Is my audio much
because
lower
they
than the
think
videos?
that you're beatable. So much so that they spent around $3 million to boost your candidacy in this Democratic primary race. How will you convince swing voters who think you're too far to the left to support you?
Oh my God. I hate this. I hate that there's this like established fact narrative around this concept where it's like, well, don't you think, like, look, the underlying premise here that Dana Bash is explaining or bringing up as though established facts is your worldview is far too radical. This is a swing state. Your worldview is far too radical. Like, we're not even going to discuss that, right? We're not even going to discuss whether or not that is a real issue, a real concern. We're just going to jump over and we're going to establish it as a real concern. What's your, how are you going to alleviate this real concern? The way that I ask this question oftentimes is, what do you say to people that claim that you're far too radical for a state like Wisconsin? Dana Bash not doing that. She's moving past that point to literally say, everyone knows that you're far too radical for Wisconsin. How will you win over the moderates? What will you do to pivot to the center? Why are these things established facts? Why is this the way to win? Why is this the method to win? Especially when it's, lost this past election cycle. As part of the reason why these left flank candidates, these Bernie crats, are actually doing quite well in these primaries, and the Democratic Party is in a state of panic.
They also know that their candidate is one of the weakest candidates that they could put forth. Tom Tiffany is an election denier and traitor, and he supports a national abortion ban as well as losing health care and supports Americans losing health care, millions of folks across the state. I think with more moderate voters that we recognize that this moment is not just a movement moment, but our coalition continues to grow. And our coalition is bipartisan, Republicans with Hong signs in their yard, that our folks are in rural, urban, and suburban communities. It is incredibly exciting that an Organizing First campaign continues to help communities grow their organizing skills as well and come to support our campaign.
You have been distancing yourself from the National Democratic Socialist Platform. I heard you in an interview this morning doing that most recently. In that interview on Fox, you said you don't support, for example, abolishing the Senate.
Look at this. It's always drama. Oh, you're distancing yourself from the National Democratic Socialists of America campaign. Isn't there drama? Why do you hate the DSA? Is it because you're trying to cynically moderate now? First, we established that, you're already a dangerous radical for the swing state, and you're going to lose the Democratic trifecta, selfishly. Local news wrote about it. Hannah Schroeder. Francesca Hong holds campaign rally in South Milwaukee, August 2nd. U.S. Rep. Ilhan Omar, left-wing commentator, soundbiker, and gubernatorial candidate Francesca Hong stand together on stage at the conclusion of the Hong rally in South Milwaukee High School on August 2nd. Shannon Rupert and other supporters cheer on speakers. It's just photos. You got her parents on there. It's not an article. They didn't write anything about it. It's just photos. Wrong link, I think. No, it is the wrong link because it's just a picture gallery. Maybe if we do this. Nope. Oh my God, I have to be a subscriber. Never mind. New Political Mag cover story. Data center backlash is fueling new political movement. Ariel Wittenberg reports on Justin Pearson and what she dubs the new Luddites. Okay. It's really interesting because Luddite has a negative connotation associated with it, but the OG Luddites were also pro-labor. There's a pro-labor working class first movement. I just want to say that Fran winning shows the power of the online left combined with strong local DSA chapters as her entire campaign. We did this chat. Yeah, it's true. No paywall. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I mean, Francesca Hong did not get any major national left endorsements. It was just a people-powered campaign from the start to finish in the primaries, with one exception, of course, Ilhan Omar. But yeah, it is pretty crazy. It's more so just a testament to the power of the local DSA's ground game out here. But it's interesting. Change your tie. No, it's. I'm not going to wear white on white. South Milwaukee, Francesca Hong, a Democratic socialist who's cementing her frontrunner status in the Democratic primary for governor, walked into her Sunday afternoon rally wearing a signature blue pantsuit and grooving to Wisconsin anthem Jump Around. At the podium, Hong could barely get any words over the cheers of the attendees. That's my governor, one shouted with 10 days to go before the August 11th primary. Throughout the 2-hour event, Hong and other speakers sought to challenge the question looming over her campaign. Can Hong translate her grassroots fervor into beating Tiffany? When people want to fight for something together, when they see something they believe in, and they start to believe in one another, I think the Dems are going to have to write a new playbook here, Hong said. Regardless of where your political home may be or how you identify, this is the moment where we must convey and win power for the majority, and that's working class people, she said. Hong's on-stage guests included U.S. Representative Ilhan Omar from Minnesota, who endorsed Hong in April, and left-wing commentator Hasan who has divided Democrats for previous comments that critics call anti-Semitic and anti-American. But the crowd was fired up for Piker, with some attendees seated in chairs riding for a standing ovation. He alluded to the state's sewer socialist history, saying Wisconsin is where the American socialist movement began long before Zohran Mamdani and Bernie Sanders. The good people of Wisconsin always knew that this wasn't about scary ideas, and it was just about a working class movement that wanted to help out one another, Piker said. A Republican will never be elected in this state again once our movement is done. Hong joined Piker in his Los Angeles studio in June to appear on his Twitch stream. She raised around $60,000 from that event. Piker indicated that at the time he could travel to Wisconsin to campaign for Hong. Piker said August 2nd he campaigned for U.S. Senate candidate Abdul El-Sayed in Michigan the day prior. Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, who is now running in second place behind Hong, was the first Democrat in the race to say he would not appear with Piker, calling Piker's comments beyond the pale. Oh my God, I forgot. He said that, and then he dropped out because he was at like 6%. We take those. That's another one. That's another Mallory McMorrow situation. Francesca Hong choosing the campaign with individuals who said America deserved 9/11, called communism an honorable end goal, and believed capital should be killed is certainly a choice, Tiffany said in a statement. Tiffany previously tied Omar's endorsement to his argument that Hong would turn Wisconsin into Minnesota. Yeah, just unfiltered racism, silly reactionary takes. Ilhan Omar has built a career trashing our country and representing the worst elements of the Democratic Party. Francesca Hong is proud to stand right beside her. Wisconsin voters see that for what it is. Insane. Republican Governors Association Communications Director Colin Crompton said in a statement. Piker, introducing Omar, said she was framed as a villain far before I ever got on the scene. Omar said that, like her, Hong would become the first woman and Asian American elected Wisconsin governor. Hong is not running to make history, but because she knows people in Wisconsin need a relentless fighter in their corner, Omar said. Crowd skews young, including first-time voters and rally goers. Look at that. Inside the gymnasium, attendees skewed young and mostly under 40. In the latest Marquette University Law School poll, 66% of voters aged 18 to 29 support Hong. Her campaign counted 1,300 RSVPs. Supporters flocked to the merch table for the blue and green t-shirts and took selfies in front of a neon sign that read Hong, proudly serving Wisconsin. Malik Johnson, a local Grammy-nominated cellist, performed Hall & Oates, You Make My Dreams Come True, the pre-rally playlist including plenty of dance hits and MIA's Bad Girls. Looking around this rally, I see students, first-time voters, I see young organizers, people who refuse to accept that politics has to stay the way it has been, said Wisconsin Muslim Civic Alliance Executive Director Fauza Qureshi, the first speaker. Aliyah Hemaidan, who just graduated from high school and will vote in her first election this fall, says she's excited that the first vote I ever do is for somebody that I actually believe in, citing Hong's policies on data centers, childcare, and higher education. Governor Tony Evers, he was really good for the time, but the times are shifting, Hemaidan said. To have him step down and have somebody continue the road into progressiveness, it's huge. Cassandra Harlan, who was attending her first political rally, said Hong showing signs of moderating her message on the debate stage in an interview is a formula that happens with politicians. They can meet somewhere in the middle. I just like the fact that she's kind of antagonizing the right people, Harlan said. I feel like any woman who wants to make history, she can't be well behaved. True. Rally comes as Hong cements front-runner status, moderates message. I like that is, they're going to shift that no matter what. They're going to be like, no, she's moderating her message. To be fair, I don't place a lot of emphasis on pie in the sky idealisms that come from candidates or anyone really. That's why I'm like not as that's why you won't catch me freaking out about people saying like defund the police or even abolish prisons or whatever. It's just like the realm of possibility is an entirely different reality than like what is within the realm of possibility is very different. So it's not. I also understand that it doesn't mean like literally emptying out the prisons tomorrow. She's doing better than Abdul in the initial general election polling, but I kind of think some of it is driven. Okay, dude, Jesus Christ. Hong's lead in that poll. Oh, yeah, Mandela Barnes, who was running in the second place behind Hong in the latest Marquette poll, dropped out the race last week. His decision came amid reporting from the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel into allegations that Barnes taken advantage of his role in the party to have sexual encounters with young adult women. Hong's lead in that poll, conducted in late July, was 38%. Just over a third of voters were undecided, including nearly half of voters 60 and older. When undecided voters were pushed to choose a candidate, Hong's lead grew to 46%. Crowley, who was moved into second place since Barnes dropped out, is hitting the trail with Evers. Crowley is backed by Evers, and on Friday was endorsed by U.S. Rep. Gwen Moore, a veteran congresswoman from Milwaukee. While Francesca Hong is rallying people who are already in her corner, David Crowley is traveling across the state to meet undecided voters where they are, Crowley spokesperson said on August 2nd. David will continue to reach them this week with a message centered on experience, results, and winning in November. Dude, the establishment has the same formula. It's really funny. It's like, hey, I know that like the times are unstable and people are very frustrated with the way things have gone so far, business as usual politics. But here's more of that for you. Like, they don't understand that. I think people, when they run with this, like, I have experience, I'm not the shake-up candidate, what they're literally communicating to the voters is like, I'm just going to do the same shit that we've been doing already. If you like the shit that we've been doing already that gave you Donald Trump twice, then that's good. You know, vote for me. And they just genuinely do not understand it. And obviously, I don't want to give them any, tips right now. So keep on keeping on. All right. Nothing will fundamentally change. That is the message, and I love that. That's a great message. That is truly a banger message for you guys. I think you should keep doing that, okay? That's my attitude. The only problem I found with Fran is that she's too soft-spoken. She got to get tough in the general. Yeah, she's very affable. She's great doing retail politics. She's great at that. She's great on one-on-one with voters. She's very soft-spoken. I agree. But, if it works, it works. I think she'll be fine. Hong called on her supporters to be radically welcoming to people who aren't ready for democratic socialism, but otherwise didn't cater to the middle in front of her base. At one point, Hong said she would meet U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement with the force and fury required to keep us all safe. The crowd responded with a "fuck ICE" chant. M.I. Don, the first-time voter, said she doesn't see Hong as shifting on policy, but shifting in how she addresses voters. She said Hong, going on Fox News, is exactly what she should be doing right now. The fact that she's able to code switch and talk in a different way to maybe help them understand what she's doing is really good, M.I. Don said. Hopefully, she's going to get a lot more national attention after the Michigan elections are done. I want the national eye to be on this movement. Early in-person absentee voting is underway through next Sunday in the August 11th election, which features the party primaries for governor and some state legislature and congressional seats. Yeah. Speaking of what's retail politics, like going out to state fairs, kissing babies, that kind of stuff. Like being out with voters, going to the retail storefronts. In 30 minutes, we're going to launch a phone bank. And then after we launch a phone bank, I will be going out to canvas as well. Tony Evers. All right. Tony Evers is trying to play kingmaker in Wisconsin's governor's race. So far, it's not working. One Dem donor said he's leaving the party after Evers' despicable lame duck period and decision to endorse David Crowley. Nice. Are you going to be on CNN? Later tonight, yes. Later tonight, I will be on CNN. CNN Doc. This is the most entertaining shit. Yeah, this is a funny moment. Hutch changes his mind about blue no matter who.
I'm almost ready to say, you know what? I'm not even going to, the blue no matter who rhetoric, I'm not doing it anymore. Because it feels like unilateral disarmament, doesn't it? First of all, how much of that particular term is helping the discourse? I have never in all my years on the internet ever once witnessed a productive exchange about the concept of
blue, but it matters who? Root for DSA to lose? Wow. That's so strange. That's so strange, dude. That's such a strange phenomenon. Turns out this guy is just like, ideologically a neoliberal. I was wrong about this. I didn't realize that he was. The guy who said he would rather vote for Jeffrey Epstein instead of me is now saying it's not vote blue no matter who. That's the new sex pestiny meta. Root for Abdul and Fran to lose. Oh my God. Why did these guys literally fucking position themselves on the losing side of every issue? This is what happens when it's just like personal spite and resentment are what drive your politics. It's crazy because this is Hasan derangement syndrome through and through. But what I find very odd about it isn't that it's just like online weirdos now. Now you got like party bosses, old bosses. I get D, but why does Hutch hate you? Because Hutch is basically the Destiny dick rider. That's why.
Blue no matter who. Every time it's ever come up in my experience, every time I've ever witnessed it come up in other spaces, it's always a shit show. And, you know, like, it's just, I can't stomach people like Kyle and Crystal weaponizing the concept of blue no matter who.
Wait. Weaponizing the concept of blue no matter who. So it's not, so you're doing that.
To benefit their preferred candidates when these people were never about that life. It's so disingenuous that I don't think it's productive to even like push it anymore. You know what I mean? That particular phrasing. I think it's about time we retire it and just be like, you know what? Let's just all stop pretending like this is something that's, you know.
But this was the logical extent of vote blue no matter who. So I guess he's still consistent on that.
No.
No, it shows you think Hasan is worse than Jeffrey Epstein. That's what it shows you, Hutch. That's what it shows you.
What is Jeffrey Epstein?
Did when you said I would vote for Epstein over fucking JD Vance.
Tell me, what is Jeffrey Epstein's policy platform?
Dude, you don't need.
That's a fair question, isn't it? Isn't that relevant to the analysis?
Like, even his audience is like, Hutch, Epstein raped children, you fucking moron. Like, that's what one of his chatters was saying at that point. Like,
I don't know anything about Jeffrey Epstein's politics. Would he push for a public option? Is he a Medicare for all kind of person? I don't know anything about his politics. The reason why I would not necessarily disqualify Jeffrey Epstein electorally is because first we would have to establish if he supports liberal democracy. Because the whole thing with Hasan is that he doesn't. And I had people in my own chat last night that thought I was being ridiculous. Why am I being ridiculous when we're talking about Hasan Piker? Do you trust that he would not nuke Israel? Do you trust that he would not help China invade Taiwan? I'm crazy for being worried about
help China invade Taiwan. Like, I'm gonna fucking swim over there, over the strait, dude. What the fuck? This is HasanAbi derangement syndrome through and fucking through.
Our fucking nation's secrets. If we gave power to Hasan Piker, I'm the crazy one who's like, I don't know, what's Jeffrey Epstein?
Yes. Someone said yes. This guy's like, I would rather vote for Jeffrey Epstein over any fucking Republican. Then doubles down and says that he would rather vote for Jeffrey Epstein over me, and now is saying vote blue no matter who. Like, it turns out you just want to vote for Jeffrey Epstein, I guess. Like, if I was the Democratic candidate, it seems he would actually, if I was Epstein, hypothetically, was alive, you know, famous pedophile Jeffrey Epstein was running as like an independent, Hutch would literally vote for Jeffrey Epstein. Well, at some point, we just got to realize, at some point, that just means you want to vote for Jeffrey Epstein. That's it. That's your preference. You're just pro Jeffrey Epstein, like pro voting for him. Maybe you're pro his platform, which I suspect is about lowering the age of consent. Like, I don't know what else Jeffrey Epstein is like really known for. He's being an elite pedophile. So it's really funny that he's like, actually vote blue no matter who. It doesn't work anymore. Sorry, it doesn't work for me anymore.
Policy position when he glorifies the current Chinese Communist Party as like a model of government. I'm the crazy one. Somebody who idolizes Vladimir Lenin, and I'm the fucking crazy one because I don't want to fucking live under an authoritarian leftist regime.
Hutch is a single issue voter. He's pro Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, that's so funny. Anyway, so yeah. The knives are out for our girl, Francesca Hong. So we got to do our very best to keep smiling and motherfucking dialing. U.S. Rep. Haley Stevens had her John McCain moment earlier today when a man told her, "We know you're going to kick that Muslim's butt, Look, that's not what my campaign is about, Stevens told Grant Schwab. If that's not what your campaign is about, why are your voters saying stuff like that? If you have a New York Times subscription, you're one of the big 5 moments in the Michigan State primary. Wait, what? Yeah, I'm wondering why your voters are gravitating towards that kind of sentiment. Interesting. Do we have a paywall remover on this too, or no? I would like to read the 5 big moments in the Michigan Democratic Senate primary. 30 minutes to poop is crazy. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Did I miss a rally? You did. You missed it. I did it in the morning, and I started early for it. But you can subscribe and see it in the VOD if you would like to. Shit. Why can't I stop it? Hold on. Oh, no. Haley's using deep fried polls to say she would do better against Rogers. Where can we all see your speech, bro? I'm going to look at the Haley Stevens Walter Master moment. Hold on. Okay. Oh, thank you for the gift article, chatter. Hopefully it won't force me to fucking subscribe. Okay. 5 big moments in Michigan's Democratic Senate primary. Divisions over Israel and high-profile endorsements have shaped the closely watched race between progressive former public health official and a more moderate member of Congress. Michigan's marquee Democratic Senate primary has had twists and turns, heated exchanges, viral moments, and tens of millions of dollars in outsized spending. On Tuesday, voters will have their say in the race between Representative Haley Stevens, a moderate, and Dr. Abdul El-Sayed, a progressive former public health official. The outcome could affect the battle for the Senate majority and the future of the party. Prominent Democrats from Michigan and elsewhere have been divided over the candidates whose differences mirror broader intra-party frictions over Israel, electability, and other matters. Polling conducted over the last month has suggested uncertainty. Public polls have shown Dr. El-Sayed leading. Here's a look at some of the biggest moments from the campaign. Hasan Piker walks past supporters in a rally in support of Mr. El-Sayed's campaign in East Lansing in April. Hasan Piker campaigns for El-Sayed. In April, Dr. El-Sayed rallied at 2 Michigan universities with Hasan Piker, provocative left-wing streamer with a large following among young progressives. The move injected energy into Dr. El-Sayed's campaign and drew some backlash, crystallizing some of the sharpest fault lines in the race. Some Democrats have condemned Mr. Piker's statements about the Israeli government and its war in Gaza. He previously said it doesn't matter if rapes happen in the Hamas-led October 7 attack on Israel, later adding that in an interview with the New York Times that it doesn't make the genocide acceptable. No, I didn't add that later in the interview. That was in a conversation. That was in conversation. And with the additional context, it was very obvious that was what I was saying. Jesus Christ, whatever. The New York Times, Mr. Piker once said that America deserved the September 11 terrorist attacks, later apologizing for their comment. Ms. Stevens said after the rallies were announced that it was unacceptable for Dr. El-Sayed to campaign with Mr. Piker. Another candidate, Mallory McGorrow, who has since ended her campaign, also criticized Dr. El-Sayed at the time, a move that ultimately hurt her pitch to progressives and helped him consolidate support on the left. Dr. El-Sayed defended the decision, arguing that Mr. Piker represented a critical younger demographic. I'm not a politician, and I won't stop talking to everyone else who they've locked out, he said in a statement. AIPAC jumps into the race and tensions rise. Dude, that's crazy. It's like 5 big moments, and they put mine as the first. AIPAC jumps into the race and tensions rise. In early June, the main super PAC of the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, the country's most powerful pro-Israel group, started a multi-million-dollar ad campaign backing Ms. Stevens. The spending has been a consistent point of tension in the contest, with Dr. El-Sayed frequently criticizing AIPAC and his support for Ms. Stevens. In a debate on Monday night, Ms. Stevens and Dr. El-Sayed clashed over the influx of outside money. The main super PAC for AIPAC has so far spent more than $30 million boosting Ms. Stevens, according to data from the media tracking firm Ad Impact. Tensions erupted again on Thursday after Dr. El-Sayed said AIPAC had chosen to back the least capable candidate in America, referring to Ms. Stevens in an interview with the online magazine Muslim Girl. In response, Ms. Stevens accused Dr. El-Sayed of wanting to blame all your problems on Jewish Americans. On Saturday, Dr. El-Sayed was critical of Ms. Stevens' comment and told reporters, at the end of the day, I love and revere Judaism and the Jewish people. The candidates are at stark odds over United States support for Israel. Dr. El-Sayed said Israel should not exist as an explicitly Jewish state and has advocated ending U.S. financial assistance to the country. Ms. Stevens supports continuing U.S. military aid to Israel without conditions. Earlier this year, Ms. Stevens was booed at the state Democratic Convention by activists unhappy with her support for Israel. Yeah, state Democratic Convention. By activists, you mean party officials. McMorrow then suspended her campaign. Stick it to him. Stevens goes viral and her accent comes under scrutiny. The candidates clinch high-profile endorsements. I'm just shocked that they talked about her accent, but not that Israel comes to me in my dreams. Do these people ever get tired of being wrong consistently? This would be a more plausible argument if Stevens weren't such a demonstrably terrible candidate. She imploded in the primaries, and if she were the nominee, would likely implode there as well. El-Sayed carries risks, but nowhere near as many as Stevens. Yeah. Jonathan Chait, is there a single El Sayed supporter with enough self-awareness they admit that they're willing to accept a higher risk of defeat to elect a left-wing candidate? It's very funny that they are just like, yeah. El Sayed has otherwise been deliberately unapologetic, standing by positions even when they go beyond where some think media and voters seem to be. He refused to back down on campaigning with streamer Hasan Piker, who said America deserves September 11. A comment Piker has since said he regrets and has called Mao Zedong one of the great leaders of the world, a man who changed the entire universe. Boom, 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 boom. Attack ad after attack ad. He already deflected away from this. He already literally fucking went. Whew. He already judo chopped this, okay? So any kind of like additional, well, you see, he's with Hasan Piker is not going to work. It's just not going to work, you know? You are making Mao Zedong famous in the U.S. I think Mao Zedong is famous in general. Yeah, here are the Michigan voters' phrases for the word cloud for Haley Stevens, by the way. When respondents are asked what, if anything, they've heard, seen, read recently about Haley Stevens, here are the most common words and phrases they use. Corporate, money, AIPAC, take, support, Israel. I'm noticing that receipts are not one of the words, which is interesting. I'm noticing that receipts are not one of the words. I'm noticing that stick it to them is not a word in the fucking cloud, which is strange because this means that she was defined by us. This means that she was defined by what we wanted her to be defined as, which is, by the way, fair, right? AIPAC should be exactly what defines her, considering that it's the largest outside spender on this race to the tune of $35 million. But this is what Republicans do very effectively towards Democrats, just so you understand. Democrats, corporate Democrats who cannot define themselves by policies will get defined by their opposition. Now let's look at Abdul's. Medicare, money, women. This obviously has been a negative ad campaign saying Abdul is bad. Okay. I'm noticing that a word that Abdul is not defined by, or rather a tiny word in the word cloud, is Hasan. Perhaps that wasn't a very good line of attack. Hasan. And it being green, I assume, is like both positive and negative. Because if it's red, it means like this is a negative association with him, right? Criticism, Muslim in red, women in red. Green, I assume, means neutral. Blue means positive, right? Or does it not mean anything? Yes, I am up there, tiny, up there. And I guess like the amount, or maybe it doesn't mean anything because UAW is in the red too. There's probably no meaning. Dhoni's still promoting the doc. I saw. So yeah, this word cloud is a perfect demonstration of the benefits of having policies. When you have policies that you can be defined by, you get to define your own candidacy. When you're just a corporate Democrat, utterly devoid of policies, you are endlessly definable by your opposition. This is a big part of the reason why Democrats lose. Okay? This is why they lose all the fucking time. Here's a candidate who's defining herself aggressively. Francesca Hong.
Abolishing the Defense
Who
Department.
I'm going to be doing a phone bank for in a second. We're going to kickstart that, and then we're going to go out to Canvas outside.
Abolishing the Supreme Court, which are all part of the platform. But there are some bread and butter issues that I want to ask you about that are also in the DSA platform. And it's under a headline, A Day Without Capitalism. And I'm going to read it. Speaking of bills, you don't really have them anymore. You have no debt. You don't have health insurance. You don't pay a mortgage or have a landlord. Food, education, energy, medicine, and transportation aren't for-profit businesses. They are common goods and utilities. Would these be your goals if you were governor of Wisconsin?
I was a small business owner for over 7 years, and I believe in organizing worker power and unions as well. And I think it's important to recognize the practical and sensible solutions that we need right now. And that's permanent affordability. That's ensuring that we've got healthy school meals in our school, that we're raising the minimum wage, that we ensure paid leave, and that everyone has access to fair, cheaper healthcare across our state. And we're building affordable housing. Folks are excited when I talk about a public bank that allows people to actually build more affordable housing, create good union construction jobs, and make sure that our small businesses can thrive.
Yeah, and I that makes perfect sense. But you said this morning that you pay dues to the Democratic Socialist Party, and what they are talking about, at least in part of their platform, is, I mean, it sounds a little bit utopian. I don't know. It depends where your point of view is. That food, education, energy, medicine, transportation would be common goods and utilities.
Hold on.
Is that your ultimate goal? I understand the political realities of being in a purple state, but if you could, would those be the kinds of policies you would be able to implement?
My home chapter, DSA Madison, we have focused so much on making sure that we're helping to meet community needs. And we didn't actually pursue the national DSA endorsement. And as I've mentioned, there aren't things that I completely agree with right now. And I want to focus on building permanent affordability for all Wisconsinites, where people feel like this is a state they belong to. And, you know, being born and raised in my home state and recognizing that this is a place where I can open a business, where I can be a single mom and still feel very cared for in the community. But this isn't the reality for too many people across Wisconsin.
Why is my browser limiting my access to the microphone? Fuck.
Making sure that we're putting working class people first is the type of government we want to build, a government that is a force of good.
You posted a lot about the police back in 2020 and 2021. You wrote, I
click the
support
time in the
defunding
bottom
the
right
police
corner
as a
and then
first
click
step towards
settings.
abolishing the police, and that reform can't be an option. I know you say that a governor cannot defund the police and that you do not want to, quote, govern by slogan. I just want to be clear. Does this mean that you no longer believe in the goal of defunding and ultimately abolishing the police that you posted about 5 years ago?
I believe that safety is a human right, that I'm going to be a governor that is more serious about public safety than any other governor. And I'm willing to work with community organizers, faith leaders, local governments where many of our public safety systems are funded. And if anyone believes in defunding the police, it's been Robin Ross and the Republicans in the state legislature who have ruled the legislature for over 16 years and have no qualms around defunding our local governments, where these are folks who provide some of the most essential services in preventing violence and making sure that we're getting off of our street. And so to be serious about public safety.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hi.
I am live right now. So just so you guys know, and I can mute myself if you're, can you hear me? Oh, wait, what the hell?
Hey.
1 second.
I think he's muted.
Yeah.
It doesn't say that.
No,
Am I just dumb?
No, I think his audio is going to the stream instead of the Zoom.
Yeah, no, oh shit.
OBS doubling up or tripling up.
Hold on. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay,
hello.
I don't know
How's
what's
it
going on. I hope my audio is fine enough for you guys. I had
It is
there's
now.
like an issue with allowing access to my microphone for some strange reason.
I think we're good now. How are
Okay.
you?
Yeah.
All right, hopefully. I'm live right now, so just so you guys know.
For sure.
And we also have to do a quick exit afterwards to go canvas. So if you guys want, if you're still going through the process right now, I'll I'll meet you guys and then come back in when you want me to, fire up the troops.
Yeah.
That
Thank you so
works.
much for being here, and thank you for having us. This is so exciting. I've been watching you since like 2021, so this is like, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you for all the work you guys are putting in, all the good work you're doing.
Yeah, thank you. I think we're good to go. I think all we have left is to run through the training, so we definitely can do that with chat, and everyone that's going to phone bank.
Okay, perfect. And how many people have joined so far on the phone bank?
On our side, we have about like, I don't know, 10.
11.
Okay, we got to get those numbers up. That's crazy. That's unacceptable, chat. What are you doing? Get off your ass and smile and dial right now. I know your asses are not in Wisconsin currently. Okay. So if you're not up and down the state, you got to get in this phone bank right now and start making some phone calls, Francesca. The entire establishment is consolidating support behind every single opponent they possibly can over and over and over again. A lot of y'all are lazy, it seems. Where link? I mean, we put the link up, haven't we? Do I have a personal link or something that I can
No, it
put?
should be a Zoom link.
Yeah, there's the mobilize.us one, right?
Yeah, that should be it.
Okay, bro, why are you lecturing us?
Join...
Man, you think this is just entertainment? I'm lecturing you because this is your opportunity to make some impact, all right? That's why I'm lecturing you.
It's time to elect the very first socialist governor in United States history, and the only way we can do that is by talking to voters. The other thing that's really exciting about this race is that since the election is coming up so close, and since a lot of the other candidates aren't really doing as much of a ground game as we are, is these might be the only conversations that voters have, and definitely the last conversations these voters will have before going to the ballot box and making their decision. And there's so many people that are undecided. So these conversations are so important.
Yeah, absolutely. You're unmuted? Yeah, I am unmuted. I know. They hear me on the Zoom call as well. What are we? Is it 18, 19? That's not enough. Get those numbers up, Chad. Get in there. Once again, I want people to realize that, look, polls are, at the end of the day, utterly irrelevant. Okay? We don't know. We don't know how things are gonna.
That's right.
We don't know how things are gonna look like. A lot of people were confused because they have this attitude that Fran has this in the bag. That's not the case. That's never the case.
We have to lock in.
Yeah. And
John
plus,
has it in the back. Oh.
well, sorry. No, the other thing I was going to say is that these phone conversations you're going to have in the primaries are going to also be unbelievably impactful in the general as well. Because someone who you can convert into a voter in the primary will then be a door knocker in the general, right?
Mm-hmm.
Someone who will mobilize on Francesca's behalf in the general. So this is incredibly important. It's incredibly important to do this. Non-Wisconsin people can phone bank too, right? Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
And
anywhere around the country.
Don't worry. Once again, good question, Sir Hype. Yes, there will be talking points that will be given to you guys, and that they're gonna walk you through exactly how to conduct this phone bank. Okay, it's super easy, and if you have any sort of anxiety, you should fear not that the gamification component of these sorts of operations makes it far easier to overcome any sort of anxiety. It's actually very helpful, and it's the same with canvassing too.
I love watching number go up. That's always my big motivation is how many doors can I knock today? I think well, first of all, I should introduce myself. My name is Phoenix. I'm the region organizer for Up North. So I have the region that a lot of people forget about. It's Green Bay, Wausau, Eau Claire, Superior, Hudson. So again, a lot of people don't think to have conversations with people up here. And so the conversations that we do have are so important. And that's the same on the phones. The great thing about a phone bank is we can reach people from all over the state from, so a lot of you guys in chat are not even in Wisconsin, and we can talk to these voters no matter where they live and remind them how important this election is, and talk to them about making Wisconsin affordable and a better place to be.
Yeah. And if you're confused about the policies, again, they're gonna give you guys the talking points. So remember, it's a super simple, super easy, and very fun process. But yeah, you guys can take it from here.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I've been admitting people this entire time, so thank you so much. I have one document that I'm just going to send over to Kiana real quick so we can show off some of these policy points that you've been talking about. So I'm just grabbing that really quick. Okay. In the meantime, how many of you here, raise your hand in the Zoom? How many of you here have used Scale to Win before?
Damn, hella hands.
That's good. That's good. Scale to Win makes it really easy. Coming back to the Zoom, sorry. Scale to Win makes it really, oh, there's so many more people to admit in the 2 minutes I was gone. This is really cool. Scale to Win makes it really easy because you don't have to wait around for anyone to answer the phone. It literally calls as many people as are calling on the program. So there's 60 people in here right now. The program itself is going to call 60 people all at once. And so you'll be waiting no time at all, and it'll show you like phone puns, which is great. And then it will actually just like, you'll use this computer, like the system that you're using now to be in this Zoom call. You're going to use the same thing to make the calls. And it'll show you a script. Kiana, if you don't mind sharing your screen and showing the Scale to Win, and we'll go through the script real quick. So it'll literally give you the questions that you're supposed to ask. It'll give you the person's information on the right-hand side. And it will literally tell you exactly what to say, and it'll have options to click that are exactly the answers that you'll get. So it's really, really easy to use, and we're gonna go through, once we get it working, and we're gonna go through a practice run with the script. Scale to Win, and we'll go through the script real quick. So I'm getting an echo back somewhere. The questions that you're supposed to ask, it'll give you the person's information on the right-hand side.
They're DM them, the person who was like on the phone.
All right. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So this is what I was talking about. It's going to give you the name of the information of the person on the right. And then that white box right there is exactly what you say on the phone. So, hi, is this person? Hi, my name is X with the Fran Hong for Governor campaign. How are you today? And then we're just going to let them know that Fran Hong is an option in this race. We're going to talk them through never heard. So I usually start with like, have you heard of her before? And then we know where to start. But the biggest talking points that we have are, and I know, Hasan, you've been covering this a lot. So I know that a lot of you guys have probably heard all of this before, but we're going to review it anyway. The biggest things is that she wants to cut property taxes by 44% while still fully funding public education. And she's going to do that by taxing the rich and ending, or at least working towards ending, the voucher system. Not only that, but she is the only one that has not taken AI data center money. She's the only one sticking up against AI data centers. So those 2 points right there just show that she is for the working class more than any other candidate. So if someone has never heard of her, we can use those 2 things. The other thing is, once we know that they are pro Fran, we're going to talk about, okay, well, do you have a plan to vote? There's 3 ways you can vote in Wisconsin. You can early vote in person. You can vote by absentee ballot, which you'll probably already have mailed to you if you're going to do that, or you can vote on election day. If you're going to absentee vote in person, anyone can do that. Like, even if you're going to be in town on election day, you can go usually to your local city hall, and that's going to be this upcoming Monday through Friday, to go vote, to skip the lines. It's honestly amazing. It's the best. So we're going to ask people, what are your plan to vote? If they have their mail-in ballot, we're going to tell them, like, you need to get that back in the mail ASAP. Wisconsin doesn't really care about postmark dates, so we just need to get those ballots back to the Wisconsin Election Committee, like, as soon as possible, so they can get counted. So we're going to encourage people also to vote this upcoming week, Monday through Friday. We're going to remind people that they probably cannot early vote the day before Election Day, which is the following Monday, August 10th, because those early vote locations close to get ready for Election Day. But the other thing is, they can obviously go vote on Election Day at their regular polling place, which will be listed right there on that right side where their information is. That is not the early vote location. That is just Election Day location. The early vote location is usually just whatever closest city hall they have. Is there any questions? Did I skip anything? Was that too fast?
You can take it now.
Check chat. Okay, cool. Kiana, do you mind clicking through a little bit more of this script? So, like, hi, is this person? Then we would click talking to correct person if we do in fact have the correct person. And then we ask, like, have you chosen who you're going to pick for your candidate on this August 11th? And again, if they say, oh, I'm going to vote Francesca Hong, then we can go right into that. Well, what's your plan for when you're going to vote, how you're going to vote? But then, so then we have the different options. If you go back, I assume the links will be posted when the time comes. Yes, we will post the scale to win. I'm just going through a little bit of training first. Can we get the PDF of talking points with Francesca Hong in case people debate?
Let me get you that.
Yes. So this is like, oh, go ahead.
Oh, another thing is if you go to hold on. Francesca.
No need to be nervous.
Hong.com. Don't. Everyone I've talked to has said that these are the nicest people that they've ever spoken to ever.
There was some survey that was done recently, nationally about like what states are the best at everything. And the only thing Wisconsin won was that they are the nicest people. Like, I was doing this phone bank before and someone was like mad that I was calling them, but they still were like, thank you so much. Have a great day. And like,
are we leaving?
you will not believe how nice these voters are, these
Okay.
people that we're going to be talking to today.
Yeah.
And we drink a lot of beer. That is also correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so I put it inside chat. This is a condensed version of Francesca Hong's policy page,
right,
which is the most in-depth policy platform that I've personally ever seen. She has a lot of stuff. If you don't have something here, I highly recommend checking this out, seeing if you can actually find the information. You don't need to like be perfect or know everything. You just need to know where to find things, and people are more than happy to wait a couple seconds so that you can find the information for them.
Yeah, so you don't need to know every single policy point. We're also not here to debate bro anyone. You're also welcome to tell people that they are also welcome to check out the website themselves. What do I do if people have a terrible phone connection? This was a common issue when I did calls for New York candidates. Your best.
What can I? Okay. It's decided I'm no longer allowed to paste a link.
That's okay. Someone else has pasted it in chat. I think we're good.
Bless you. And then we also have this document that was written up.
Some people are. Oh, wait,
when
what the hell?
time comes.
Oh, the mic is gone. I can't even speak anymore in their chat.
Yeah. So like a lot of exciting policies. Again, she wants to increase the minimum wage, fully fund public education, universal paid leave, universal childcare.
By the way, some people are having. Sorry to cut you guys off. I have to leave soon, and also some people are having issues joining the call. Apparently.
Oh
no.
Yeah.
4 people entered the waiting room. That's my bad.
Okay, no, it's all good. And yeah, I have like maybe 8 more minutes until I have to go to a Canvas launch.
Cool. Well, Hasan, thank you again so much. I hope to meet you tonight. Really, really appreciate your help and how much you've been covering this race. It's been really, really exciting and cool to see.
Oh yeah, of course. And this has been very helpful for me as well. You know, this is it's great to refresh the talking points as we go out in a second.
Yeah. The property taxes, the lowering property taxes goes hard on the doors. Like if someone is a homeowner, they love to hear their property taxes go down.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes they're like, but I'm worried about like how they're going to fund all that then. And then you can just say, well, she's going to tax the rich. Yeah. Okay, so I think everyone is in now. So talking to correct person, Kiana, go ahead and click that again.
Yes.
And then if we go to undecided, if someone's like, well, I've heard of all these candidates, I don't know who I'm going to going to vote for yet. That's when we go through the spiel and talk about her wonderful policy points.
It's important to note, the only people who are currently in the race are Crowley, Brennan, and Royce.
That's true.
If they say Barnes, Rodriguez, or who else? Hughes, I think. They're not in the race.
That's true.
It's probably really important to
I think people know that. For the most part.
I don't.
How do we define rich? That's a great question. That's something that we can look at on her website. She did just come out with her tax the rich like full policy. So it might be under, if you like do the policy drop down, there's
your support for Hong for governor in the August 11th primary.
Sorry?
Oh, I think somebody started a call. I want to mute.
Yeah, okay, so if you do want to start making calls, we can drop that skill to win in the chat. And then you're also welcome to deafen this call. So there's a little arrow right next to the microphone.
All right.
You can click that.
I'm gonna
and
end
then
it
you
here.
Can click,
Or I'm not gonna end the
computer
stream,
audio,
but I'm gonna.
And then if we're talking, it's not
I'm
gonna
gonna leave the
disrupt
call
your
now, chat.
call.
But you guys,
I'm just gonna do.
It started. I'm a firm believer that politicians need to earn your vote. I think the Democrats have an attitude sometimes that because of lesser evil voting and harm reduction from the DNC, they feel like they're entitled to the vote of the average citizen.
Yeah, you're all set.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
From the
DNC.
What's going on? I'm not committed to the Democratic Party. That doesn't mean I'm going to vote for the Republicans, obviously. That like terrifies people. Hi. Hasan, nice to meet you.
You're going to go live as soon as you get up
Yes.
there. Piker had been invited to the convention as part of Creators for Camelot.
This backdrop is ass, right? But that backdrop, this is fire.
An attempt by the DNC to bring streamers and influencers into the Democratic tent. But Piker ideas.
Free Palestine! Free
Palestine! Like the protesters gathering outside the convention's gates, and like even some of the delegates on the convention floor.
Yeah, first day I went to the Palestine
Harris,
rally instead of the
we
DNC.
will support you. When you call for a ceasefire and an arms embargo, you will be greeted with the most applause.
Piker was threatening not to vote for the Democratic nominee for president.
Thank you. When are you endorsing this ticket? I mean, when I see some momentum on Gaza.
David Hogg, a survivor of the Parkland and co-founder of March for Our Lives.
David Hogg was in Chicago too, and while he'd gone on TV backing Harris...
Why do young voters like Kamala Harris?
Ultimately, I think it's that they're excited for somebody new.
He warned the party needed to change its approach to the war in Gaza.
Lift the siege on Gaza now!
I'm not a foreign policy expert, but I don't think you need to be one to know that what we're doing hasn't been working. I don't want to see this horrific violence continue anywhere.
From the river to the sea!
Why do you think there was such division here at the DNC? Because the Democrats are in charge right now. They're the power. They're the party in power. They are funding and facilitating, aiding and abetting Israel's genocidal campaign in Gaza.
The issues that Piker and Hogg were talking about back in Chicago have come to play a defining role in the fight for the future of the Democratic Party.
This is pretty good so far. Okay, Donnie cooked.
Hogg and Piker are now part of an insurgency.
Hogg has pledged to spend millions funding primary challenges to what he calls asleep-at-the-wheel Democrats.
Hasan Piker, who, to quote Politico, is driving a wedge in the Democratic Party.
An insurgency against centrist Democrats. One that is challenging party norms.
These races do seem representative of this real struggle the party is going through right now, post-2024.
And energizing young voters.
Abolish ICE, free Palestine, and tax the rich!
An insurgency that hopes to spark a revolution in the Democratic Party.
Well, I mean, I did rip his shit. Let's be real. Shout out Big Z.
It's No Kings Weekend, and tens of thousands of people, young and old, have descended on Midtown Manhattan.
Where do we think the front of this actually is?
Honestly, I don't believe in the Democrat Party at all. I think they're all feckless losers.
The Iran war has been raging for months, and while everyone here is protesting President Trump, many are also frustrated with the Democratic Party.
This is big because, like, Donnie is basically trying to, like, educate the boomers that watch CNN that, like, what's actually going on.
And nobody wants to be in the center right now.
Cynthia Nixon,
who
played Miranda in Sex and the City, ran for governor of New York as a progressive in 2018.
I've always identified as a Miranda.
Yeah, I've known him for years.
What has, do you think, changed?
I was a day one fan of his at CNN, and I've watched his career.
For governor.
I think not enough has changed within the Democratic Party. And I think the Democratic Party is a slow, lumbering giant, very slow to wake up.
Let's just say this documentary was probably very hard to push at CNN, like very hard to get out at CNN.
The election of Zoran Mamdani, it's a democratic socialist, which is a dirty word for a lot of people. We've got more and more people like him running across the country.
At the heart of the insurgency is the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America.
Yeah!
The DSA is the largest socialist political organization in the country.
That's a Hasan
and
Abi
it's
head.
working to pull the Democratic Party
He's
to
in
the left.
he's in Detroit. Tall guy.
Today they are holding
He's
a
in
rally
Detroit right now.
here in
He's
the
in
Bronx in
NYC
support
DSA.
of their
Those
New
are
York candidates.
all NYC. This is all New York City.
It's not Bernie, it is you. It's all of us together. The work that you did to elect Zoran as mayor will not only impact this city, it is reverberating all over the world.
He's right.
You're a democratic socialist.
I am.
You've never run for office before.
Daraliza Avila Chevalier is one of the
That's my
candidates
girl.
running for DSA in New York.
Folks need to be able to see themselves in the Democratic Party again. I, like them, have felt abandoned by the establishment. Instead of sending all our money onto these foreign wars, we need folks who are willing to reinvest that money into our communities, into our babies, making sure that we have universal childcare, free public education from cradle to college.
Hasan Piker has become a regular fixture at rallies.
That's
for
Chris Rapp, the
DSA
guy I was
and
telling you
other
about earlier.
left-wing candidates,
In Philly, he
many
won.
of whom are seeking to unseat Democratic incumbents.
Make some noise for Hasan Piker!
I have never seen a crop of talent as bold and as brave as the New York City DSA slave. People are demanding a different politics, something not beholden to corporate or pro-Israel or imperialist interests.
Michigan Senate candidate Abdul El Sayed plans to rally with far-left anti-Israel streamer Hasan Piker.
This is about being able to bring people back into our politics.
As Piker's influence has grown, so too has scrutiny of his political
That's
positions.
Ken from New York
and
Times.
his
That's the
past
guy who was
statements.
covering me in real time when I got
9/11, dude.
kicked out.
I'm saying
of the DNC.
Palestinians have to dignity, a right to emancipation, a right to live free lives, free from this occupation. Doesn't matter.
Now it's a
Doesn't
clip show.
matter if rape happened on October 7. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much.
Some view
Full clip.
Piker and the wider DSA and left-wing movement as dangerous.
Hasan Piker, one of the most outspoken, toxic, anti-Semitic
My boldest
influencers
op,
in
Jonathan!
The DSA is an insane
He's my baldest op. I got a lot of bald ops.
It is literally rat poison anywhere outside of the most deep blue places in America.
Yeah!
Those people call themselves Democrats. Call yourself Democratic Socialist.
I mean, I think a lot of them do, right?
Good, but don't call yourself Democrat.
Others see the campaign as a reckoning for a party out of step with its voters.
There's the debate about what voters want and what makes a candidate electable. The battle for the future of the Democratic Party is not going to play out like it used to.
So I'm hitting the campaign trail, talking to candidates
Let's go knock some doors and let's win.
and those working behind the scenes, following the fight for the future of the Democratic Party.
What do we do? What do we do?
Don't say these pod libs, bro. They probably defended me. Okay, calm down. You guys are so silly. Okay, dude, this is aura. This is aura. So far, this has been fire. I love it.
I thought that was
personally.
it? Oh,
No.
commercial break.
It's just a commercial break. No, so I don't know how long it is. It's probably like 20 minutes.
I was like,
it's
what
not
the-
gonna be. It's not gonna be like an hour. It's probably gonna be only like 20 minutes, unfortunately. But like, the thing is,
Unfortunately.
No, because, dude.
I think I'll be closer to an hour.
You think it'll be an hour?
An hour?
I mean, we'll see. I just asked Donnie how long it is. But, hold on. This focus is so busted again. Okay, it's working now. Probably more because PBD Gottheimer. Yeah, that's true. So, wait, PBD? Patrick? Oh, no, you mean Pod Save America, not PBD.
I thought Patrick
Brett David, my goat. I would have lost my mind if you got Patrick Brett David on it. Holy shit. All my favorites, all my faves. These are all like, I'm such a nerd. Like, none of these people are even remotely relevant for normies at all. Like, do you, like, they're...
I see Patrick Ben David stuff.
Yeah, but Patrick Ben David is obviously relevant for normies,
yeah.
but he's not probably on this, unfortunately. But I mean, like Jonathan Greenblatt, he's the head of the Apartheid Defense League, which...
Not what they're called, like.
Oh, sorry. I'm so automatic with it. I didn't even think. I was just like, Apartheid Defense League. ADL is the Anti-Defamation League.
Got it.
Yeah, and he's and I called him the Apartheid Defense League because they defend the Israeli apartheid, and he's like supposed to be the like premier defender of anti-Semitism, but like he has so aggressively just defended Israel. He defended Elon Musk when Elon Musk did the Sig Heil, remember? On inauguration, he was like, "Oh, he's just quirky."
His stim?
Yeah, he was just stimming. He was just autistic stimming. Because he had to say that because Elon is super pro-Israel, super wealthy, so like he has to defend these guys who are like straight up fucking Nazis.
Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School.
A deadly school in South Florida.
The shooter walked down the hallway. I heard a young man crying for his mother.
After 17 people were killed in a at his high school in Parkland, Florida.
Parkland.
People are going to keep
David
saying
Hogg is
there's
the other
nothing
guy that
happening.
he's like following
But when you
along.
don't take action, things like this eventually will happen to you.
David Hogg dedicated his
You know what's funny?
life
I was at that
activism.
rally. I spoke at the March for Our Lives as well. Ironically enough, many years
in
ago.
February of last year,
How are we doing, fellow Democrats?
he became co-chair of the DNC
Justin
and led
Pearson,
an effort
he's
to
the man.
unseat Democrats in primary elections who he said were asleep at the wheel.
We are here to find the most effective young people in our country, truly generational leaders, and replace people that are failing to meet the moment right now.
It's pretty unusual for a top member of Democratic leadership to openly plot to kick incumbents out of office. And yet, that's what my guest today is doing.
The move was not well received by party leaders and party elders.
To go out and raise money to defeat members of the same party. I think that's jackassery
he hates both of us. Well, he likes
After
David
a few
now.
months, Hogg resigned from the DNC, but he's continued fighting for generational
No, he's
change.
Bill Clinton's campaign manager from back in the day.
I want to introduce David Hogg, who has been working to engage younger voters.
I'm here today because I want to feel hope in politics again.
Hogg is using his PAC Leaders We Deserve to support young candidates who refuse
David is
to
kind of
accept
like
dark
the
special
much
interest
more
money.
brand safe version
Maybe
of
the
what I
reason
do
young
that's
people
not like
are
a
not huge
socialist.
fans of Democrats or politics in general is because politics doesn't give a shit about them. You guys ready to change that?
Yes.
Eat your hat,
Why was there a
Carville.
need
He will be
for
after
what
this.
you're doing with infrastructure?
Have you seen the Democrats? I mean, if you look at Congress, I think it kind of speaks for itself. We have a government that is dominated and focused on people that are legislating that are not going to live to see the effects of many of the policies that they're passing.
True.
The reality is, we cannot continue to sell democracy to a generation that the system that we call democracy is not working for. And I think New York City is actually one of the first places we did that. We were Zoran's largest funder in his primary. We spent $300,000 supporting him.
Today, he's campaigning in Brooklyn with Claire Valdez, a Democrat primary candidate in New York's 7th District.
I'm Claire Valdez, and I approve this message because this campaign is about you, not me.
But can I talk about you?
Like Mamdani, Valdez is a democratic socialist.
The sort of older generation that is afraid of the word socialist, that's not sticking with young people, right?
It's true, and you know, we see after poll that democratic socialism is becoming more popular, kind of in every age group, but especially with young voters. And I think it's precisely because, you know, like me, so many people have worked low-wage jobs, felt like they had no career path, felt really locked out of home ownership and what we've, you know, traditionally thought of as the American dream. And we know that the system is the problem.
Democratic
The
Socialist
people,
Zoran
that's it.
Mamdani will be
That's
elected
it.
the next
The only people that
mayor
fuck with me
of
are the people.
New York.
every
it's
media.
impossible not to feel a sense of hope for a better tomorrow.
Mamdani's historic win and success with an open
entire country.
democratic
Turkey,
socialist
Israel,
platform
UK, America.
shocked
Wait, Turkey
many
don't-
within the
Turkey don't fuck
Democratic
with me.
Party.
Oh my
I no longer
God.
have to
What we gotta do?
prove that this kind of politics works. I can just point the czar on.
One communist on the faculty of one university is one communist too many.
Communism and socialism have long been bad words in American politics. Dating back to the McCarthy hearings and the Cold War, America stood for
Remember we were talking about
capitalism.
like
They
Black
use the word
Panthers?
social democrat because it sounds so nice, but it's really communism you're talking about.
But that is changing.
You understand, I think rightly, this is social democracy. This is not gulag socialism. This is not the Soviet Union socialism.
Socialism, on the other hand, up like a rocket. Look at this.
Harry
2
Emden.
in 3 Democrats have a favorable view
Harry
of
Emden.
socialism.
Capitalism is
Mr.
even less
Holy
popular
Toledo.
among young people.
If politicians want to know how to get elected, it is not complicated. Do your job and represent the people, not the special interests buying out our elections. What I think a lot about is the fact that if we do not start making our political system work for people that feel like they are living in a broken promise, where they've done as a generation everything we've been told on average, right? We've gone to college at some of the highest rates of anybody of any generation in American history. Contrary to popular belief, we've actually voted at the highest rates of any generational cohort at our age in American history, consistently.
Often when belief in the system collapses, civil unrest and violence follow.
The CEO of United Healthcare was murdered this morning.
Some young Americans celebrated the murder of healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
Unfortunately, I don't think that we really lost that great of a member of our society.
How do you think Brian Thompson's family feels when they hear that?
Well, obviously, I'm not going to try to say something insensitive about his children.
That's
but
crazy.
I do
To just
want
be
to
like
kind of
known
remind
as a
people
Luigi
that he
Mangione
was also
supporter on
denying
television is
life-saving
wild,
care
but
to
hey, you know,
hundreds, if not thousands,
to
of
each their
families.
own.
How do you think their families feel when their loved ones are lost?
How do you feel about that? And clearly, as somebody who has survived gun violence in this country.
I'll tell you, it is the thing that keeps me up at night more than anything. And it's not just like that specific instance. There is a deep, deep, deep frustration with how our political system is not working for the people who need it.
That's a good answer.
If
Okay,
we do
David.
not start to make it work, people are going to find somebody who promises to do that, even if it's without democracy.
We need to fight against a system.
Okay, that wasn't a bad answer for him, but he's primarily a gun violence advocate. He's a Parkland.
There is clearly an appetite for change. But Democrats are divided on just how radical that change should be.
Yeah, it was more than mine. Got it more
The
than
Democratic collaborators too.
It's me, that's your boy.
I thought the big takeaway in 2024 was Democrats need to go everywhere. Wasn't that the takeaway? I'm shocked.
Keith
that we're
Edwards,
seeing
he's a
moderate,
political commentator,
center-left
consultant.
Democrats saying they're not even going to speak to Hasan Piker when we know that the best way to get a message out is to go to places where they might not otherwise hear it.
Looking swaggy is fine. It's not a big deal. It's nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? Bro, that was a huge deal, actually.
He's transcendent.
Low key. I
wearing the
wore
Japanese
I
suit?
wore the well, that's the Japanese one. They didn't get mad about that one, but I wore I wore a Chinese one, and they were like, "Bro, this guy it was on fucking news. It was on Fox News. They were freaking out."
Oh, it's like swapping jerseys during the World Cup.
Yeah, they were like, "How dare you?" No,
look
because when I went to
everywhere.
China, I met a tailor in Shanghai, and he was like the original family that invented this like very specific type of Chinese suit, and like it was worn, and it still is worn by like a lot of people, especially in Asia. It's like a different kind of collar and stuff. And I wore it to this College Democrats of America meeting, and I was just like fucking ripping into the Democrats, ripping into the Republicans, and you know they were like, this
With
guy.
the Chinese flag in your background.
Yeah, oh, dude, I mean, let's look at it real quick while the ad break is happening. Hold on. They call me a Maoist.
Gotta get you in a dashiki next.
They're gonna, yeah. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Libertarians use Hasan Parker's praise of Mao Zedong to educate the youth about socialism. Hasan Parker vows never to criticize Mao Zedong and resurface video. Hails him as great leader. Excesses.
Wait, can you talk about that video? Because I always hear about it written, but I've never seen it.
What video?
Where you say you vow never to criticize.
Oh, I was joking because I was saying like we were talking about how I got like stopped by the cops at Tiananmen Square, and I was like, the cops thought I was making fun of Mao Zedong, and I jokingly go, I would never make fun of Mao Zedong. And then I seriously say, like, he's a great leader of, he's a great man of history, right?
Do you think? Oh, sorry.
And then afterwards, I was like, and there's a lot of excesses through the Cultural Revolution. Of course, there's like a lot of, reasonable critique of the things that have happened, but they took the part where I said, I never criticized Mao Zedong. He's a great leader. He changed the course of the universe. And they were like, he loves Mao Zedong. Which, I mean, I'm fascinated by, I'm not a Maoist, but I think he's a fascinating figure for sure.
Thumbnails. Do you think they pick bad thumbnails for you sometimes?
Yeah, this photo. They do this on purpose.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they do
It
this
makes
on
your eyes look like they're a little...
Yeah. Yeah, and my mouth too.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
Because I'm like shifting to the Zen or whatever. They do that. There's a couple photos like that, actually.
That's why you should stop doing that in public.
Zinning?
You can on stream it's okay, but in public
I have to.
Everyone makes weird faces. Sometimes.
Yeah, there's no cool way to zen, like
I
especially
know.
in the middle.
But like, look, this is a cool photo.
That's decent. Yeah, I fuck with that.
Yeah. Anyway, so they were like really freaking the fuck out because I was wearing this goddamn suit. And yeah, there it is. That's the suit, right? You see that? Yeah. This is the speech. I mean, if you listen to the speech, I'm not saying anything
governments
like
from history that engage in actual authoritarian communism. Take Hasan Piker, a popular far-left commentator associated with the DSA. He recently spoke at a gathering of college Democrats and explained his plan to drive all the non-socialists out of the Democratic Party.
In fact, we have a message. We are coming. We are unbossed. We're unbought. We're unbowed. And we will become undeniable.
You might have some questions about...
Yeah, they got real mad. With suit and like the statement combined, they were like, "That's how dare you say shit like that."
That was a powerful speech, though.
Thank you.
You had a lot of like.
Yeah, I was going.
You practiced that one in the mirror?
I practiced it one time before the speech, like right before the speech.
Because I feel I don't got like a good like yelling voice. Like
I don't either.
Like when it's like if you're at a concert and they say make some noise, what sound are you making?
Yeah. Make some noise.
But what sound are you making when they say make some noise?
Oh.
Right? You can't, there's no noise to make.
No, I feel you. And also, what if your voice cracks? Oh. That's my fear. Like I go up there and I'm just like, we are on boss. And then I go, we are on mount. Like it's over. Like the aura loss from that is so bad. I might as well die.
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah, everyone's gonna.
So that do like the boxing shoots like before my fights, and I'm like flexing, like, but I can't do it. So I'm like,
oh, so you just hot air.
Yeah, just
nothing.
Bro, if you do that, it's weird.
All right.
Make some noise.
Oh, thank you.
We gotta get a picture.
This is St. Louis.
I appreciate you, homie.
Oh, he's so cute.
We also have with us Mr. Hasan Piker.
What's going on, St. Louis?
He's aura. That's aura.
Hasan Piker has been traveling the country, leveraging his online fame to back progressive candidates and broadcasting their rallies to his 3 million Twitch followers.
We all know the Republicans are corrupt. We all know that they're monsters, they're racist, they traffic in hatred. But we are here to say we are no longer going to vote for do-nothing Democrats either. We're voting for Democrats with a purpose.
Not bad.
It feels like you're running.
No, it's what people keep saying, but I'm not.
Are you concerned that pushing the candidates that you're pushing, you might end up hurting the Democrats nationally in a general election?
I've heard this concern a lot. They said my allegiance with Zoran was actually going to hurt his chances. Andrew Cuomo tried to exploit that. He tried to really hammer on this point that I was a dangerous radical, and so was Zoran by associating with me. I think for far too long, the conventional wisdom in Washington was don't respond to the needs of the people. Always focus test your messaging and try to find a moderate centrist vision. And we're finding out that the Zoran-style candidacy, the Bernie-crats, are rising up in popularity and fighting against the establishment and seeing tremendous success.
Tremendous success indeed. The political story of the summer is the far left success in New York, in Colorado, California, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey.
It's crazy how many campaigns I've worked on that just, I don't even fucking know. This guy's a stud. He was at 9/11. He was a first responder. He saved a congresswoman's life.
Nice to meet you. I'm Joni O'Sullivan.
One might think all the energy and excitement about a new generation of candidates might be a cause for celebration within the Democratic Party.
This is what I call
probably
a sign of advanced civilization.
But not for party veteran James Carville.
How are you feeling about the midterms?
I feel very good. The only thing that can derail us, we could nominate some of the wrong candidates in the wrong place and not be as successful as I hope.
The wrong candidates, what do you mean by that?
All right, let's take in Michigan. Now, Al-Said is highly competent, but he's way left. I see challenges from the, quote, progressive left, unquote. And these people are too hard-headed to know that they're not popular.
I'll be honest. He's a mercenary.
But if you get a skewed turnout in a primary,
instead of neoliberalism, if it was socialism,
you might end up losing a race.
Like he'd be the biggest.
You should have never lost in the first place.
He would be a party apparatchik, like in a different universe.
Tone of
you know what I mean?
there.
So you were very wise. I hope the camera was able to pick up the contempt.
It's high definition, yeah.
Yes. They don't win elections. They never run against Republicans. They just run against other Democrats.
So your Democrats suck then, I guess.
We're going to blow everything up.
At this point, you hadn't vetted Graham Plattner. You hadn't done a full scrub of who he is.
I don't like that these. I don't like that we're being looped in here. I don't like. I did not have anything to do with this. Okay. You hear about this guy with the Nazi
what
tattoo?
The voters wanted were people who were grown in vats and had never done or said
God, his vocal fry, bro, is
their
so
entire
triggering.
lives. We'd have a very different country.
Plattner, who said he was unaware of the tattoo's Nazi
No, this guy's a
association,
Nazi tattoo.
explained that it was
he
the
dropped
result
out
of a drunken
because he
night
came out. He
out
raped
18
someone
years ago.
Allegedly.
And some have generated a lot of controversy.
Daralisa Avila Chevalier is now facing questions about deleted tweets saying that she's sympathetic to communism, to Soviet figures, criticizing interracial relationships, saying black and Arab men are both fetishizing ugly colonizer women.
I did not delete those tweets because I was running for office.
It's very clearly in jest. It's not like a real
many years ago.
With one accusation culminating in Graham Plattner ending his bid.
I hate when people like
Graham Plattner rape
post that shit like it's like sincere. Like people will take a very clear joke.
Any
and
accusation of non-consensual behavior is categorically false.
Back in Washington, D.C., it's not only the left-wing candidates that are making some Democrats nervous. It's also their support from Hasan Piker. Jonathan Cohn runs the Democratic centrist group,
of course he's never
Third Way.
They're a fucking DC think
Hasan
tank.
Piker
They don't do shit.
is unknown to most Americans who determine elections. Swing independent voters have never heard of Hasan Piker. The ones who have wouldn't like him. He's known and popular among a very small subset of young people
This
who
guy's
are
gonna make
super
real
online
impact in fucking
and very
Wisconsin.
radicalized. Fine, have at it. That's how he makes a living.
You mentioned Piker isn't that famous, but you wrote a Wall Street Journal op-ed about him.
He did.
Why did you think it was important to do that?
We called him out because we wanted to warn mainstream Democrats not to associate with him, not to elevate him,
They did
not
that.
to put
They
him
put the
on
beat on
their
me.
platforms or campaign with him.
This is like,
because,
he
fact,
thought he was King
that
Von.
will drive
I mean,
away
the way
he was
swing
dissing you sound like the
independent
beginning of a
moderate
diss track.
voters
Just
who
need a
need to
beat
win.
on it.
On Capitol Hill, Democratic Representative Josh Gottheimer went so far as to co-author a resolution
wrote a fucking
condemning
whole bill
Piker
around
for
me.
what he described as anti-Semitic hate speech.
This is hate speech intended to incite violence.
Lovely.
Okay.
Yeah, how'd that work out? How'd that
Are
work out for you
surprised at
guys?
just how big an issue Israel has become?
I'm kind of surprised how this issue has become almost a litmus test in primaries across the country.
How do you think that's happened?
Sometimes these issues just, they get a mind of their own. I don't even think when I talk to voters about it and say, well, you're screaming and yelling at me, what really are you upset about? And it's based on,
you like that
part,
one.
I think, a lot of disinformation out there. I often don't really get an answer at TikTok.
Hasan Piker, you introduced a resolution condemning him, along with Candace Owens, for, I think, what you characterize as anti-Semitic hate speech. Can you talk us through why was it important to single out Hasan Piker and Candace Owens in particular?
Well, you know, when you start ignoring hatred, and this is, again, look at history against any community, and the hatred bubbles up.
It's so shameless the way they fucking lie about me.
If you
It's
don't
crazy.
extinguish the fire, the flames just grow. And Hasan Piker is not just some random guy walking down the street screaming something hate-filled. He has millions of followers on his streaming platform. By the way, so does Candace Owens, right? Left and
Always
right,
an afterthought.
but still
Candace is
both
filled with
anger
afterthought. They packaged her in
spewing
just to
not
make it
only
more legitimate.
disinformation
And
just
bipartisan.
lies and deceit, but ginning people up and targeting communities, including Jewish people.
She's actually anti-Semitic.
Hasan Piker, of the many controversial statements he has made, he
Yeah,
has
no, I know. I'm saying it's
disavowed
established
some,
credibility
he has
for the-
said
for the
some have
piece.
been taken out of context. But, I mean, ultimately, he stands by statements in terms of broad support for Hezbollah, broad support for Hamas. But there's also viral clips of him at a speech, I think in Oxford in the United Kingdom, talking about anti-Semitism and the plague that is.
Anti-Semitism is a canary in the coal mine of fascism.
Ooh, how's he going to
It's one
respond
of
to
the
that?
oldest bigotries that has caused those of the Jewish
Getting this
faith
on
a
CNN
tremendous
is
amount of
crazy.
pain. From pogroms to the Holocaust, Jews have always been singled out by those in power as a scapegoat
classic
for
anti-Semite
instability
behavior.
and economic volatility.
Hasan Piker's argument is that he is anti-Zionist
Okay, Tony.
and not anti-Semitic, and that they are two very different things.
If that's what he believes, then he should probably practice that, because he has done a very good job of smushing the two together.
We have Bernie Sanders and AOC in the building.
He had nothing.
Despite the
That's all you
controversies,
got?
There are prominent Democrats who recognize Piker's influence and want his followers. in the party.
Santa.
I'm going to do rapid fire now.
For many on the left, Israel has become a litmus test.
Calling out Israel's genocide.
Yeah.
Ending aid to Israel.
Yes.
Sanctioning Israel.
Yes.
A free Palestine.
Of course.
But just how fine is the line between criticism of Israel?
The only real tolerated form of
Oh
anti-Semitism.
my God, it's fucking
is
Douglas.
anti-Zionism.
It's this dickhead. This
Zionism,
guy's
as we
literally a
just heard, is
fascist.
simply
But he's
right
pro-Israel,
of the
so they
Jews
let him
to
say whatever the fuck he wants.
self-determination in their historic homeland.
An anti-Semitic hate.
What?
What you're saying here about voting for Hamas?
I'm not literally capable of voting for Hamas or Israel.
But isn't that the point of it, though, right? Like, so why say it?
Ooh, this is good. This is good. Okay, I like that. I like that. That line. So here's what's really insidious. For the last 13 years, I've been too woke, right? Everybody in the Democratic Party have said like, oh, you're too woke. You care too much about social issues. You care too much about bigotry. We have to drop the bigotry. We have to be a little bit transphobic. We have to, kind of drop this whole protecting undocumented migrant shit. They've never said it about anti-Semitism, to be fair, but there's never been a moment where I've been anti-Semitic. As a matter of fact, I've literally always opposed anti-Semitism and still do to this day. So what the media does is they've positioned certain clips to be like, he's always criticizing Israel. Why is he doing that? Oh, there's a lot of Jewish people that live there. Is that why he's doing it? And they never show. This is, I think, the first time a mainstream outlet has ever shown at least a fraction of my commentary on anti-Semitism being like a canary in the coal mine, and how fascists are always anti-Semitic, and in the past 13 years there's thousands of hours of me fighting back against anti-Semitism, and it's so fucked up that the most common way that mainstream media will cover the story is just to be like, well, he said stuff that people call anti-Semitic. At most, that's the best most charitable coverage I'll ever get. They'll say he's a controversial podcaster with statements that some people consider anti-Semitic. It's like, okay, well, you're just trying to avoid a defamation suit at that point. You're not like really actually saying the truth. So this is, I think, the first time that they've shown just like one of my, many different pieces where I've like railed against anti-Semitism. And the fact that he brought it to Josh Gottheimer personally, that's excellent.
I gotta give credit to our guy Jonah here, because he's doing a good job. But he also, at the end of that, very end of that clip, he also pushed back on you.
Yeah. No. We had a very tough conversation where he just basically put the whole anti-Semitism bill in front of me.
We start here at 5:30 with Commitment 2026.
Yeah, look, this
just
is how
9
they
days
cover
until
me
the
in
August
media.
primary election. Democratic Socialist and candidate for Governor Francesca Hong holding a rally alongside controversial political streamer Hasan Piker and Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar at South Milwaukee High School today.
Happened.
Sometimes these issues just, they get a mind of their own. I don't even think when I talk to voters about it and say, well, you're screaming and yelling at me. What really are you upset about? And it's based on,
you like that
part,
one.
I think, a lot of disinformation out there. I often don't really get an answer at TikTok.
Hasan Piker, you introduced a resolution condemning him along with Candace Owens for, I think, what you characterize as anti-Semitic hate speech. Can you talk us through why was it important to single out Hasan Piker and Candace Owens in particular?
Well, when you start ignoring hatred, and this is, again, look at history against any community, and the hatred bubbles up.
It's so shameless the way they fucking lie about me. It's
If you don't
crazy.
extinguish the fire, the flames just grow. And Hasan Piker is not just some random guy walking down the street screaming something hate-filled. He has millions of followers on his streaming platform. By the way, so does Candace Owens, right? Left and
always
right,
an afterthought.
but still
Candace is
both
always
filled
an
with
afterthought.
anger
They
and
packaged her in
spewing
just to
not
make it
only
more legitimate.
Disinformation
And
just
bipartisan.
lies and deceit, but ginning people up and targeting communities, including Jewish people.
Well, she's actually anti-Semitic.
Hasan Piker, of the many controversial statements he has made, he
Yeah,
has
no, I know. I'm saying it's
disavowed
established
some, he
credibility
has
for the-
said
for the
some have
piece.
been taken out of context. But, I mean, ultimately, he stands by statements in terms of broad support for Hezbollah, broad support for Hamas. But there's also viral clips of him at a speech, I think in Oxford in the United Kingdom, talking about anti-Semitism and the plague that is.
Anti-Semitism is a canary in the coal mine of fascism.
Ooh, how's he going to
It's one
respond
of
to
the
that?
oldest bigotries that has caused those of the Jewish
Getting
faith
this on
a
CNN
tremendous
is
amount of
crazy.
pain. From pogroms to the Holocaust, Jews have always been singled out by those in power as a scapegoat
classic
for
anti-Semite
instability
behavior.
and economic volatility.
Hasan Piker's argument is that he is anti-Zionist and not anti-Semitic, and that they are two very different things.
If that's what he believes, then he should probably practice that, because he has done a very good job of smushing the two together.
We have Bernie Sanders and AOC in the building.
He had nothing.
Despite
That's
the
all you
controversies,
got?
There are prominent Democrats who recognize Piker's influence and want his followers in the party.
Santa.
I'm going to do rapid fire now.
For many on the left, Israel has become a litmus test.
Calling out Israel's genocide.
Yeah.
Ending aid to Israel.
Yes.
Sanctioning Israel.
Yes.
A free Palestine.
Of course. But just how fine is the line between criticism of Israel?
The only real tolerated form of anti-Semitism.
Oh my God, it's fucking
is
Douglas.
anti-Zionism.
It's this dickhead. This
Zionism,
guy's
as we
literally a
just heard, is
fascist.
simply the
But he's
right of
pro-Israel,
the
so they
Jews
let him
to
say whatever the fuck he wants.
self-determination in their historic homeland.
An anti-Semitic hate.
What you're saying here about voting for Hamas,
I'm not literally capable of voting for Hamas or Israel.
but isn't that the point of it, though, right? Like, so why say it?
Ooh, this is good. This is good. Okay, I like that. I like that. That line. So here's what's really insidious. For the last 13 years, I've been too woke, right? Everybody in the Democratic Party have said like, oh, you're too woke. You care too much about social issues. You care too much about bigotry. We have to drop the bigotry. We have to we have to be a little bit transphobic. We have to, kind of drop this whole protecting undocumented migrant shit. They've never said it about anti-Semitism, to be fair, but there's never been a moment where I've been anti-Semitic. As a matter of fact, I've literally always opposed anti-Semitism and still do to this day. So what the media does is they've positioned certain clips to be he's always criticizing Israel. Why is he doing that? Oh, there's a lot of Jewish people that live there. Is that why he's doing it? And they never show. This is, I think, the first time a mainstream outlet has ever shown at least a fraction of my commentary on anti-Semitism being like a canary in the coal mine, and how fascists are always anti-Semitic, and in the past 13 years there's thousands of hours of me fighting back against anti-Semitism, and it's so fucked up that the most common way that mainstream media will cover the story is just to be well, he said stuff that people call anti-Semitic. At most, that's the best, most charitable coverage I'll ever get. They'll say he's a controversial podcaster with statements that some people consider anti-Semitic. It's okay, well, you're just trying to avoid a defamation suit at that point. You're not really actually saying the truth. So this is, I think, the first time that they've shown just one of my, many different pieces where I've railed against anti-Semitism. And the fact that he brought it to Josh Gottheimer personally, that's excellent.
I gotta give credit to our guy Jonah here, because he's doing a good job. But he also, at the end of that, very end of that clip, he also pushed back on you.
Yeah, no. We had a very tough conversation where he just basically put the whole anti-Semitism bill in front of me.
We start here at 5:30 with Commitment 2026,
Yeah, look,
just 9 days until the August primary election. Democratic Socialist and candidate for Governor Francesca Hong holding a rally alongside controversial political streamer Hasan Piker and Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar at South Milwaukee High School today.
Oh my gosh, she was crying.
Well, News' TJ Dysart joins us live in the newsroom this evening. TJ, some Democratic candidates.
Oh my God, this dude is literally. What is this dude? That's crazy.
He's kind of he's been making some viral videos in Milwaukee.
Oh, he has been?
Yeah.
How old is he?
I don't know.
He's
younger though, but he does I always see him on Instagram. And
he looks like no disrespect, I don't know what his politics are, but he looks like he could be a groiper secretly.
For governor have criticized Hong for associating herself with Piker.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, Kendall, including Democratic candidate David Crowley. 35-year-old political streamer Hasan Piker has drawn criticism in recent years over comments critics have described as anti-Semitic. He also faced widespread backlash in 2019 after saying the U.S., quote, deserved the September 11th attacks.
Not only are we going to run up the numbers for Francesca Hong on August 11th, but we are going to take that victory to the general election to make sure that the Republican top Tiffany never gets a seat of power ever again.
Now, Piker previously pledged his support for Hong earlier this summer when the Democratic Socialist appeared on his stream in late June.
This wasn't a bad.
Since then, he has participated in fundraising efforts supporting Hong's campaign. The appearance comes with just 9 days remaining until Wisconsin's August primary election. Now, when asked about the criticism surrounding Piker, Hong said she welcomes his support.
Is it a risk appearing alongside these guys as you kind of frame and head into the general?
It would be a risk not to try to build the broadest coalition possible. I think that one of the reasons we...
Yeah, he literally said he's had anti-Semitic comments, and he said the thing about 9/11. They love the 9/11 one, which is crazy because it was in fucking 2019.
That was a long time ago.
And not only was it in 2019, it was like the full quote is me very clearly talking about how we brought it upon ourselves, all this stuff. But doesn't matter. It's a hot button quote. It's you got me. It's fine. I apologized for it the next day, and no one ever brought it up for years until after October 7th. Oh, CNN is back. Leading into Election Day as well. Anyway, love you all, and I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place.
For his critics, the 35-year-old has become a symbol of the far-left insurgency in the Democratic Party.
All right, we're here.
One that they say will lose general elections and hurt Democrats' chances of taking over the Senate in the midterms.
Our community will be there every step of the way.
James Carville says this is all going to implode at the general election.
Yeah, as opposed to previous neoliberal Democratic candidacies that have been spectacular successes so far. Hillary Rodham Clinton in 2016 and Kamala Harris in 2024. I don't think I'm exceptionally good at proselytizing the gospel of socialism necessarily. I think there are a lot of people who are just this is not working. Cost of living crisis is completely out of control. Democrats haven't done anything about it. Republicans haven't done anything about it. There has to be a different alternative.
Piker became an issue himself in the Democratic Party when he first campaigned with Abdul El-Sayed, who was running in the Michigan Democratic primary for U.S. Senate.
That's a state that Trump won. And Abdul El-Sayed is my guy. There was a lot of controversy surrounding my affiliation with him, and there was a month of media coverage. And in the aftermath of that, polls came out, and it showed that Abdul had actually risen to the top. He was in third place before that happened, and he was in first place after it happened.
What Josh and I are trying
they
to do
attack me, and
in putting this resolution
so
forward
popular.
is to say enough.
He went from
The House
third place to
resolution
first
sponsored
place.
by Congressman
They put my name
Gottheimer
on the
and
poll. They
Lawler
were like, Hasan
detailed
Piker
some
was
of
responsible
Piker's
for his,
controversial statements.
With people like Owens and Piker, and they're not welcome in our districts, and none of this language is acceptable either.
Pairing itself up.
While he has apologized for some of his comments and
I'm wearing
has
the
said
MAGA hat.
others were taken out of context, he has continued to praise Hamas. You seen this?
Yes, I have.
A House resolution.
Dude.
Hasan Piker, a prominent online streamer, has often used anti-Semitic rhetoric, including expressing support for
He's so
Hamas, a
serious.
designated foreign terrorist organization. Why do you express support for Hamas?
Well, I wouldn't say I express support for all of Hamas's actions or anything. I do say that the Palestinian resistance largely does have an internationally recognized right to resist. Do they violate that sometimes with war crimes? Absolutely. And Hamas certainly has as well. But at the end of the day, Palestinians do have a right to resist militarily.
When you say Hamas is 1,000 times better, do you actually mean that? Or is that a rhetorical move or like a solidarity signal? Like what?
I mean, it's all of the above. I do mean it. I think it's a rhetorical move because it frustrates a lot of people. I've also said I'm a harm reduction voter. I'm a lesser evil voter, and therefore I would vote for Hamas over Israel every single time.
Yeah, I should.
If you say you're voting for Hamas, you're voting
I wasn't gonna
for
say it, man.
limited rights for women. You're voting for homophobia. but this is right.
No.
Like when you say you're voting for Hamas,
It's not an endorsement of their domestic policies, but I don't think anyone actually cares about their domestic policies. I certainly don't. Every Palestinian, at the end of the day, regardless of their disagreements with Hamas, will always say that Israel is still, the Israeli occupation is the greatest problem that they're facing, the most existential problem that they're facing.
can you understand when
No!
Most existential problem that they're facing.
Can you understand when just the regular American,
Of course, that's the
when
reason.
they see all this?
Well, that's the purpose of that document. The purpose of that document is not to.
What the fuck?
Not the internet. The internet's faster.
Ideology. These guys can't defend that. So they have to attack its prominent critics.
I will always call out anti-Semitism. It's gross, it's immoral, it is a hate crime. There is no space for anti-Semitism.
Hang around the progressive left for any amount of time and you'll likely hear about AIPAC.
I'm speaking about AIPAC.
AIPAC funding.
What makes AIPAC unique is that they're funded by billionaires.
AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, is an American lobbying group that advocates for pro-Israel policies in Washington, D.C.
I did such a good job on that segment. I think
is bipartisan,
I
and
fucking
that is
killed
how
on
it
that
should
segment.
stay.
For decades, politicians on both sides of the aisle have
You do go so
engaged
far,
with
though.
AIPAC
No, like,
and spoken
because-
at its annual conference in Washington.
It's
largest AIPAC
the edits are
gathering
fair,
in
too. The
history,
edits are not, like,
and I feel
unfair.
like I am among family.
In Michigan, the group has spent upwards of $30 million against Senate candidate Abdul El-Sayed, who has been critical of the Israeli government and their actions in Gaza. But in parts of the Democratic Party, AIPAC is now deeply unpopular.
Now is the time of monsters. These monsters take many forms. In AIPAC, for whom the only thing more frightening than democracy being allowed to run its course is an end to genocide and Netanyahu's wars.
Like other groups, they fund campaigns supporting and opposing candidates. Critics of politicians like Mamdani say that the singling out of AIPAC is anti-Semitic.
Something has happened when elected officials, like our mayor in this city, gaslights Jews, calling AIPAC and the people who support it monsters.
Cori Bush lost her seat in Congress in 2024. She blames AIPAC.
It was a coordinated effort because I was speaking about keeping our money here in this country and not bombing babies in another country.
Another anti-Israel member of Congress, Cori Bush.
More than $7 million was spent to oppose Bush in 2024.
It was a
historically
record-breaking amount.
high amount for a congressional primary race.
So-called squad member faced a fierce primary challenge from Democratic opponent Wesley Bell.
Before
That's
Massey
after
was
his
Corey and
campaigns on
Jamal
influx
Bowman.
of cash from the Israel-aligned Super PAC, AIPAC.
The ads never said Israel, Palestine, Gaza. The ads said Corey is not a good Democrat.
Bush was good at getting headlines, but bad at actually accomplishing anything.
More than 70% of the spending against her was by a super PAC affiliated with AIPAC. Now Bush is running to win her whole seat back with support from people like Piker.
The second most expensive congressional primary.
Yeah,
That's what it took
record-breaking.
for Israel to subvert the democratic process.
While an activist like Piker puts the issue of Israel front and center in his campaigning, David Hogg's message is squarely focused on getting dark, special interest money out of politics.
There is no way of taking corporate money and just not being in bed with those special interests, right? And rejecting the influence of AIPAC.
But he too brings up AIPAC.
Let me tell you a story. When I first started working in DC,
Cori Bush's primary is on August 4th, as you guys know.
politics
That's also a
in the
huge
advocacy
race.
world, to then working on the inside. One of the first things that I was told when I got here was do not talk about AIPAC. Do not mention them. Do not think about them. Don't dare go against them. And the thing that was striking to me about that was how eerily similar that sounded to what I remember hearing about the NRA.
This is such a good line coming from David,
Where
especially. It's
people
one
said
that I
to me,
use all the time too.
you
I
know,
compare
they're
AIPAC
too
to NRA all
powerful.
the
You
time.
guys are just a bunch of kids. You know, what happened at your high school is horrible, but you don't understand. This is the NRA. Nobody's ever going to take them on, but we did, and we won. And we made that organization go from standing for the National Rifle Association to standing for not relevant anymore.
Yeah, I think a lot of
'cause
people
they
watching
fucking-
this
the NRA
to hear
plummeted.
you, a Parkland survivor, talk about AIPAC in the same breath as NRA will be...
They're also fucking blowing up schools in the same exact way.
It shouldn't be. Both are getting kids killed. And I don't draw a line between whether it's kids in Parkland, kids on any street in America, in any community.
Beast mode.
Or if it's kids in Palestine.
Okay, David.
It's not okay.
When you first got here to DC and you were
He
told...
said,
whatever
here's
you
my
do,
hog.
Don't
That's what he
talk
said.
about AIPAC. Don't come after AIPAC.
That's his last name.
Big
His
Pharma.
hog.
I know that.
Puts
Yeah,
a lot
he
of
said,
money into this town.
David, I'm
big
showing you
oil,
my hog.
Whatever. Why do you think it was AIPAC you were told to stay quiet about more so than
It's
anything
fine,
else?
Chad. He's not a kid
There are a few
anymore.
groups
Jesus
that had the
Christ. He's
winning
like
streak
fucking
that AIPAC
27.
had. That's the
Hog
reality.
is
What people
crazy.
fear more than anything are
That's
people
such a
that they
dad
perceive
joke.
to be strong winners.
You're
that
also
can be decisive
35.
in elections.
No, I'm not 35.
You're
AIPAC
34.
did not make anyone available for
Old
the
as
program.
fuck. You're
old
In
as
a
fuck.
statement,
You're so
AIPAC
old.
called Hogg's
5
comments
years, you'll be 40.
despicable and disgusting.
Why you gotta say it
AIPAC
like
said
that?
it is proud to support, quote, principled
40.
Democrats who share our
At least you
commitment
still
to a
got your hair, though.
partnership that is integral
Yeah,
to
I
America's
medicate
national
for it.
security. It also pointed out that many Democrats it supports are winning their primaries.
Rogan and
Boss,
Patricia.
what
I
does
got
all
Zoran
of this
on it
mean
too.
for the midterms?
I do like the
Moderate Democrats are the
peptide
only
part.
ones who have delivered the House and the White
That's
House
terrible.
since Trump came on the scene in 2015.
He made a joke. He said
But
you're
in
the
the
Rogaine
Trump
of the
era,
left.
those centrist Democrats have lost the White House twice and only won it once.
True. That's true.
Today is the most popular Israel will be going forward. Tomorrow, Israel will be less popular than it is today. And yesterday, Israel was more popular than it was today. It's done.
This part. So I said something here that like really pissed people off. Like the last point on this entire documentary is just me being like, you know, I'm not gonna have to make that decision. Donnie's like, oh, what would you do if a Democrat? Yeah, it's here. Donnie's like, what would you do if a Democrat doesn't, you know, is like insufficient in their support of Palestine? Or what would you do if a Democrat is like supportive of Israel, like wins the candidacy? Would you still support them? I said, that's not going to be a problem. And everybody lost their minds like for the past week, basically. Spoilers, bitch, it was a fucking highlight that they presented. It's been in the media.
That wasn't spoiler though. That's why I was like,
well, I mean, it's been in the media for like the last couple of days. Yeah, I spoiled it. I'm sorry.
That was a spoiler.
I got excited. I got to go back to the Hamas conversation after because it got cut off. But I want to see the full edit, like what they put in there. But it's like my thing always is like, what would you do? Like if you lived in a concentration camp in an open air prison, like you would probably take up arms too. You know what I mean? That's like, It's not like a controversial opinion. It's like, I mean, Israelis admit it. Israelis will say, like, yeah, if I was on the other side of that border wall, like, I would be, you know, joining the fucking armed forces. Donnie framed it around fascism as if being pro-Israel isn't being pro-fascism. I know, but it doesn't matter.
what's one thing you feel like you could do better?
Not get into so much trouble. Be more. I'm not the best speaker. Like, it's ironic because I speak all the fucking time and I speak about these like convoluted issues, but I get in my own way all the time and I recognize that. And it's very frustrating for me. I'm like, I wish I was better. I wish I was a better speaker. That's what I wish.
What do you mean better speaker? You're a good speaker.
I don't think I'm good enough. I mean, I think Zoran is a much better speaker than me, for example. Like, I wish I had... Because what I do... I ordered so much. What I do requires, like, generational talent, and I don't have it, and I need to just get better at it. I mean, I'll get there.
I think you're getting better, though.
I have gotten better at it.
Exposure therapy.
Yeah,
reps.
But like messaging discipline, keeping it more concise. Like I have a problem. I get in my own way.
They get too excited sometimes.
I get excited. Yeah. I'm in my own head. I get insecure where I'm thinking like, am I gonna fuck this up? Sometimes.
But also you carving your own lane for the way you want it. Everybody can't be the same, you know?
Yeah.
In their way to deliver messages.
This is peak propaganda. CNN got a shot in of Hasan petting a dog. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. Get fucked.
Get in here. I gotta see if they like label. They didn't label shit, man. Oh, how am I supposed to know which one is the? Guess we just gotta.
Bro, just open it. It's family style. Fuck it.
No,
who cares?
I'm talking about like the ice cream.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't give a shit.
What did everybody get in their ice cream?
I got mint and Oreo.
Oh, I don't want to touch that.
I didn't get that.
Oh no, mint and Oreo. David, what the fuck? You're a sociopath. That's like when I heard about, what is it, like Ted Bundy's choice of, like, last choice is like apple pie and a fucking slice of American cheese.
Wait, that's also really good.
You're a sociopath. It's fine.
Man.
Are you surprised?
So I'm just gonna take one bite and hopefully it's not the mint and Oreo one. I ordered heat and Oreo.
I ordered a deluxe, a double deluxe.
I didn't order.
I ordered a single.
Just ordered fries.
Single butter.
I hope
those
this
are
is
cheese curds.
Cheese curds. Wait, there's no tenders.
I ordered tenders.
Oh, there's the mint.
You got it? you took a second bite. It was good, wasn't it?
No, hell no.
Is chat hating on it too?
So you can think about moving into a one bite territory for your own version.
What? No. Oh, it's back.
As many people as part of that movement as possible, even if that makes you uncomfortable.
John Lovett, John Favreau, and Tommy Vitor all worked for President Barack Obama and now host the hugely popular Pod Save America podcast.
I'm eating yours.
They say Democrats need to talk to
it has lettuce in
everyone,
it.
including each other.
John, you interviewed
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Biker, right?
You heard about that.
Right? If you like it, you like it. This is bomb.
You got a lot of shit even for talking to him. Clearly you don't buy into the idea that somebody like Hasan Piker should not be given a platform.
How dare you platform someone with a huge platform?
Right, yeah. Whether you like this or not, Hasan has a lot of people who listen to him. I don't want to start going down the path, even as we head into 2028, where I say, all right, if you're not with me on this issue, I don't want to listen to you. We had interviewed him before, and it wasn't a big deal before. I think it's sort of what we started this to do, which was to have conversations with people who are involved in politics and let the audience decide what to make of that.
I think the Democratic Party's got to move away from this dumb debate about platforming. Let reasonable adults kind of sort out what they think about it. Mostly, I think it did enormous harm to the Democratic Party, to Democratic candidates, that we refuse to go on other people's shows at a purity test.
The roof is collapsing on the Democratic Party.
Chat, Culver's 10 out of 10.
With
Not even
insurgent
close.
campaigns ousting
Yo, it's bomb as fuck.
incumbent Democrats, this primary face-off is what some are calling the Democrats' civil war.
A growing divide
Culver's
over
better than
Israel
In-N-Out.
is reshaping politics on the left.
Democratic socialists in New York are crazy. Like outright really crazy.
Last June, it was not the end. It was the beginning.
Both sides claim their candidates will be more electable in November.
I want to talk about this idea of electability. Let me be clear. The last people who have any right to lecture us about electability are the establishment who lost to Donald Trump twice.
Is the Democrat Party having its Tea Party movement to move to the left?
Even beyond Trump and before Trump, inequality in this country was expanding at a rapid clip, and there's a lot of people in both parties and across all ideologies who are really pissed off.
Damn, John sounds like me.
And we need candidates who are not necessarily tied to the establishment, but who are outsiders, whether they're to the left or the center left, who are going to try to challenge the status quo.
I think there's a debate about what voters want and what makes a candidate electable. Is it because you're populist, you're relentlessly focused on economic issues, you're maybe not a lawyer or a traditional politician, but you're someone new that feels more authentic? Or there's others who think, like, no, actually what we need is to sand down some of the edges, like walk back some of the more extreme or furthest left positions the party has taken and run more moderate candidates. The battle for the future of the Democratic Party and the Republican Party is not going to play out like it used to.
Money out of politics,
I'm lactose intolerant too. I didn't take my lactose pills.
A battle that will help set the stage for the 2028 presidential primaries.
Michiganders need someone who stays focused through the noise and gets the job done.
Issues like affordability, healthcare,
Israel comes
corporate
to me in my
influence,
dreams.
and of
That's what she
course,
said.
Israel will play a big role.
More than half of House Democrats voted to end U.S. military
Okay, the
funding
cheese curds
for
are kind of
Israel.
mid though. I'm sorry.
A huge
I wouldn't
jump
get
in
cheese curds
numbers.
from
This is going to
Culver's,
continue
though.
to be a
I'm not a big
prescient
cheese curd guy though,
issue
so
and
I'm
something
not the
that
best
Democrats
But
cannot
you go to like a
ignore.
local place and get
The
it.
big question for both wings of the party is whether they can come together after their primaries and back their party's nominees.
They're not fresh.
I have one simple philosophy. Winning is everything, stupid.
The burden is on the left to show why their toxic politics could work anywhere outside of blue places, and to date, they have literally failed in that test.
This is a country that belongs to the working families of America and not just a handful of billionaires.
It's got to be so crazy to be
For
Bernie.
too long,
He's been doing
we've
this
had
his whole
cowards in our
life.
government that have been pushed
And now he's
around
like
by the
800
government
and now it's
of
popping
Israel,
out.
that have been pushed around by the super PAC spending. We are in an environment where people are so sick and tired of the status quo. That's the bigger story here.
David Hogg says ultimately he will support all Democratic candidates as they go against Republicans. But there was one person I wasn't so sure about.
Will you endorse the 2028 candidate if they are pro-Israel in a way that you don't like? If you ultimately are about defeating fascism in this country as you describe it, surely shouldn't you get on board with whoever the main candidate is?
Luckily, I don't think I will have to make that calculation at all, because there is 0% chance that whoever the elected Democrat is that wins the primary will be pro-Israel in any way, shape, or form. You'll see.
Wow.
Oh, you ended on that?
Yeah.
You told me. Now I didn't really hit the same.
You're fucking face deep into that
No, I was about to.
concrete milkshake. You weren't even paying. You were paying half attention.
No, I was paying attention.
Oh my god.
Shit didn't hit. It didn't hit the same. But that was fire though.
The takes that we are gonna get out of this documentary are gonna be fucking incredible. I suspect that this is gonna be a fucking nuclear arms race of some of the most annoying dipshits are gonna get so fucking mad. I can't wait.
You liked it?
I loved it. Donnie, shout out to Donnie. My man.
You think that's the most fair somebody's covered you?
Yeah. It's funny because, look, I think there's obviously a story here with the insurgent left, don't you think? Yeah. That's what he's writing right now. He's writing a whole piece on literally this documentary, basically, but like, but the thing is, like, there's more to the story. What is this? The establishment is chrome. Yeah, it's a very good sign that the Wall Street Journal feels the need to denounce Abdul al-Sayed and Medicare for All. It used to be that they could just ignore the left. Yeah. New Abdul versus pro-Israel host going viral.
Your campaign has been largely and loudly populist, but also anti-Zionist. And you've sort of married those two things, equating funding for Israel with underfunding healthcare, for example. Are you worried that that framing, juxtaposing the Jewish funding for the Jewish state against the needs of, in your own words, our own people, echoes Semitic trope?
Let me just be very, very clear. You know who benefits from guaranteed health care in this country? Jewish Americans. The idea that somehow we are going to use the specter of anti-Semitism to defend what a foreign government is doing actually does a deep disservice to the well-being of Jewish Americans in this country. Judaism and the Jewish people are a light unto the world, beautiful faith, beautiful people. The contributions that they've made to this country alone are staggering. And I'm looking forward to standing with the Jewish community against anti-Semitism. After all, anti-Semitism and Islamophobia are one in the same, and we need to take them on. But we cannot sit idly by and ask, why is it that our $3.3 billion a year at baseline is used to fund at baseline over the last several years a war we have no business fighting with the attempt to annex the southern part of a neighboring country, and then wonder why our kids' schools look like they did 50 years ago? The reality of this is that we cannot
you haven't
continue.
made that same trade-off argument with regards to other items in the U.S.'s $800 billion
I have.
defense
You just
budget.
don't cover it. No, I have. You just don't cover it. I'll say the same thing about the money we send to Egypt, which is where my family comes from. So if you want to go ahead and call me anti-Egyptian, go ahead and do that. But the reality is that on principle, I don't think we should be sending unconditional foreign military aid to any government, because none of us actually pay our tax dollars.
On principle, then, are you against
military.
ethno-religious states writ large?
On principle, I absolutely am.
Oh my God, dude! I cannot look. These are opinions that we've been advancing for decades. For myself, it's been 13 years that I've been doing this. Right? I just never thought that there would be a viable, very popular Senate candidate in the Democratic Party that would just go on MSNBC and say those words. It's the truth, but my expectation is really low from mainstream outlets, because for the longest time, the media environment was just like, oh, you can't say that. You're an anti-Semite. Shut up. And the fact that there is a real appetite for this kind of commentary, that people hear this and don't immediately go, ooh, that's a little strange. Why is he saying that? It's just so much has changed. It's crazy. Oh God, what a stud. That's it. I'm going forward. I'm only working with socialists and Muslims. That's it. No one else. They're all the Muslim candidates I work with, all studs. But it kind of makes sense. It's the same with with black candidates too. Brown candidates, black candidates. Like, in order to make it in America, you just have to be like extra good. Like, no matter what you do, you have to be above and beyond, because any blemish that you have. Like, my biggest problem is I grew up in Turkey, so I just didn't.
Oh, did you? I didn't even know you're Turkish, bro.
Man, shut up.
Oh,
you're
man.
such a bitch.
He's Turkish, y'all? Turkish.
Wait, where you
where
grew
I'm
up
from, bro? It's not about me.
Where are you from?
This is Hasan.
I forget.
Hasan stream.
Where are you from again?
This is a Hasan stream.
It's not America, right? You were born in a...
I was born in a different country, yes.
Yeah, which one? What was it?
West Africa.
Oh, okay. No, but yeah, like because I grew up in Turkey, I didn't have that like second class citizen mentality at all. So I just, and I look white, so I just speak like a white guy, and I forget my station sometimes in the eyes of a lot of other Americans, because I think like a lot of the shit I say is wild, sure, and it's also off color. But if it was a dude named Hank from Kansas saying it, they'd be like, well, that boy, he's a little crazy, but I really like what he has to say. But when it's a dude named Hasan saying it, they're like, wait a minute, what the fuck?
The name too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude named Hasan, grew up in Turkey. That don't sit right with me. Right? But Abdul, he grew up here.
Yeah.
His name is Abdul Rahman Muhammad Al Sayed. Like he had to be above and beyond his whole life. Like he had to be an overachiever his whole life. And he had to be very careful his whole life. That's why, think about Obama.
Yeah.
Like, first black president of America, you had to be exceptional beyond comprehension. Yeah. You can't have any blemishes in your career. Like, none whatsoever. Same with Zoran. That's what I mean when I say, like...
Zoran was not born in America, though.
No, right? He's born in Uganda.
Okay. Uganda?
I think so, right?
In Africa?
Yeah. Oh my God, I gotta show you something about Zoran, actually. Oh my God, I got some deep lore for you. You're gonna love it.
I didn't know he was born in Uganda.
Wait, does he not know about...
You don't know about something that I gotta show you about Zoran. So you've seen his, aura clips, right?
Yeah, I've seen those.
Oh, chat, you know which one. I don't know if we should do...
The one in the food truck.
No. I don't know. We should do the one in Uganda.
Oh, yeah.
Chat, send me the link. Young Cardamom. Not Nani. No, Nani is good too, but someone send me the link because he has a song in like a Disney movie.
That he made?
Maybe.
I hate when I'm outside the joke.
I know, but they're not sending it to me. You're going to be inside the joke in a second. Look at this.
Interesting. Okay, Mondani. That boy does everything.
Yeah. Well, that's the cool thing. Like, I think one of the things that we've learned from these races is also like, you can just be 35 and be a very competent mayor, a very competent politician. It turns out actually you can be better as a politician if you have no experience. Because they always presented this, like I remember during the race, they're like, oh, you've only been a state assembly member. What the do you know about running a whole city? Like it's the most expensive city on the planet, whatever, all this shit. It turns out it's better that he was just, inexperienced. Because him learning on the job, he's been a far better mayor, far more successful, and far more popular than any other mayor that I can think of, I guess, with the exception of Rudolph Giuliani, but that was 9/11. Right? He was popping after 9/11, right?
He was popping.
He was mayor before 9/11.
No, I know, but 9/11 made him like.
That's what made him a presidential candidate. He was the post-crime cleanup stuff in the 90s.
Didn't he become America's mayor?
But he was out of his Bloomberg was mayor by then.
Oh, was Bloomberg mayor during 9/11?
Right, I think it was the election.
I thought Giuliani gave like a really powerful speech or something. He wasn't in any office at that time? I wouldn't know.
Outgoing, I think, when you talked about it.
Abdul's on MSNBC. Wait, what'd you say?
He was outgoing when you talked about it.
Rudy was mayor. Yeah, it was. That's why they called him America's mayor. I was right. You were wrong.
We're both right.
Well, I said he was known as America's mayor because of 9/11.
As they're using on behalf
of
my opponent, Haley Stevens, giving her gobs and gobs and gobs of money to stand up against me because they don't want to get regulated and they know that I'll show up to do that. So at the end of the day, it's just a philosophical difference. I'm not an ideologue. I'm a lot more interested in empirical results. So when it comes to Medicare for all, I think that's the best single way to provide folks health care in this country. And by the way, public health care, the public part would be the insurance. The health care itself stays private. When it comes to investing in our schools or investing in good infrastructure, these are the shared resources that we need so that every single person can actually participate in the economy.
I think most of the people, I mean, you of course have a lot of public health training and medical training, but most people who are socialists, especially public officials, would say they believe in science too. But the reason I'm asking is because if you're the nominee, Mike Rogers and the Republicans are going to try to label you as a democratic socialist. You're going to say you're not. But I'm asking, help us understand what's the difference between your version of capitalism and their version of democratic socialism.
You know, Jen, the irony of this is that they're already trying to label my opponent, Haley Stevens, a socialist too. This is what they label any Democrat who runs against them. Now, Donald Trump is calling everybody a communist.
I used to look like
We're so concerned about what they're going to say about us that we forget that we also have mouths and can talk about them. Let's talk about Mike Rogers. Mike Rogers is the worst kind of corporatist. He is so bought off by corporations that he made $14 million. He doesn't want to tell us how he made, except for he was likely trading on his relationships in government. When he did serve in the Congress, he never saw a corporate PAC check he didn't like, voted to raise prescription drug prices, I don't know how many times, helped to architect the opioid epidemic. This is a guy who we're going to beat up and down the state because the dude is bought off as hell. And I think it's time for us to stop being so worried about what they're going to say about us and start using our mouths to talk about what's wrong with them. Money out of politics is about ending a future where politicians like Mike Rogers can bring in money from corporations like DTE and Blue Cross and think that somehow they get to dictate a future that's better for those corporations than they are for the people. Money in your pocket is about standing with unions that he sought to crush. It's about taxing billionaires that he wants to protect. It's about keeping our money here, even though he wants to send it in the form of tanks and bombs to give giveaways to weapons manufacturers elsewhere where that money does harm. There's plenty of opportunities to stand up to a Mike Rogers without having to worry about what they're going to label us. So yeah, whether it's me or it's Haley Stevens, they're going to call us socialists. Now let's talk about what we can do to take them on. And I think anybody who watched the debate last night, there's a clear person you would want on the debate stage with Mike Rogers, and it's because there's a clear contrast between me and him. I'm not taking money from the same exact corporations that are funding him. And so I can stand up and say, that man is bought off, and I actually want to work for you. And that's exactly the contrast that we need to win an election in November.
You know, you and Haley Stevens certainly have differences. You've outlined some of them on who you'll take money from. You have differences on how you can make healthcare more affordable.
Haley Mentum is real.
There are a lot more differences.
Abdul's so
Mike
popular.
Rogers.
Him bringing up Haley's name is going to make
her
her popular.
Would you campaign
Greatest
with her?
endorsement Haley's gotten so far this run.
I've been so clear about this question. We have to beat Mike Rogers. We have to make sure that Donald Trump doesn't have any more votes in the U.S. Senate because we know that Mike Rogers has never seen a boot worn by Donald Trump he did not want to lick. So at the end of the day, yes, we have to beat Mike Rogers. I've been committed to that from the jump. I just know that I offer the best contrast to be able to beat him.
Let me ask you about an option. The option I think you would prefer, which is if you win, right? Because defeating Mike Rogers, having Democrats win the Senate, the stakes are incredibly high. That's what I started the show talking about. You've been critical of Chuck Schumer. Other people running for a Senate have been critical of Chuck Schumer and establishment Democrats. Would you take money from the DSCC?
I think the DSCC exists to support Democrats running for office. Certainly,
my mom texted me and said, "Kaya saw you pet that
come
dog."
Together and win in
CNN
November.
documentary.
What I will tell you, though, is that I do think we need a difference in the way that we campaign generally. I'm not interested in contributions from corporations. I'm not interested in contributions from AIPAC. I think, frankly, those things should be illegal. I think we do a lot better when we offer a clear contrast and we can fundraise $5, $10 at a time from the people whom we seek to serve. And that's the way we've run our campaign. It's the way I've run every campaign I've ever run. And what that offers you is the ability to actually speak directly to people rather than being so worried about what some corporation is going to think about your position so that you hedge your bets and then can't actually articulate what it is that you want to do. I think that's part of the reason people are so frustrated with the Democratic Party is that we're taking money from exactly the same people who are funding Republicans too. So whether or not Haley Stevens or Mike Rogers wins, DTE, our local utility, wins. Whether or not Haley Stevens or Mike Rogers wins, Blue Cross Blue Shield wins. And I think people are sick and tired because when they win, everybody else loses.
He's cooking her ass.
Money they take out of our pockets. And I think we can end that kind of politics. And if we do, I think we're going to be able to win folks who are Democrats, yes, but also a lot of Republicans who don't want to pay more for premiums or utilities, don't want to see a data center move into their backyard or watch their healthcare costs skyrocket.
Abdul Sayed, it's not easy to put yourself out there and run for Senate. You have a week to go. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it.
Jen, thanks so much for having me. Really grateful to have the opportunity.
Coming up, Barack Obama just made one of his first big endorsements of this midterm cycle.
Oh my God, that shit scared the Academy. Don't bring up Barack Obama like that. God. Yeah. Because we're a little worried that he might he might,
No.
start throwing his hat in the ring and start endorsing against our guys. You know what I mean? We'd be cooked if that happened. Let's be real. He is the
Come
god.
on now.
Yeah, no, it would be. I mean, I would
With
destroy
those
him.
lefty too?
Look, I would destroy him in basketball. It's not even a question.
Do you think you can beat Obama in a basketball?
Are you kidding me?
Hell nah.
Bro, that is crazy.
Hell nah.
We have balled so many
No,
times.
I think you have like the physical edge on
I can
Obama.
destroy
I
him.
understand, but I just think Obama's
Would
aura.
he beat you?
No, but I think.
Then what are you talking about?
But I think the aura of Obama would. And I can't beat Obama in basketball.
You can't beat Obama in
No, the
basketball?
aura, bro.
That's crazy.
The aura. You're gonna forget everything. Everything you ever learned, you're gonna forget.
I'll talk to you about this off stream.
I feel
I'll
it.
talk to you this.
No, off stream, I'll beat his ass in basketball.
Yeah, no.
But on stream,
on stream, too much aura.
Nah, too much aura.
Dude, I would destroy him. But first of all, I would destroy him.
How hard do you think you? But you wouldn't even.
I would destroy him like an Afghan hospital. Okay,
Oh
it would
my
be.
God.
I'd throw threes up.
No, I don't think.
What
can beat him, bro.
he makes drone strike jokes. He made that at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
I still don't think you can beat him though. It's alright though.
That's crazy. He hung up with Zoran too.
Who'd you lose to in that streamer game basketball?
Oh my god! Oh my god! I lost to. Wait, which one are you talking about?
Whichever the most recent one was. You did a lot of losing.
No.
He said which one? Which streamer beat my ass?
No, because bro, they were.
I saw
good.
the Chris London one.
Yeah,
that was good.
That was
proud of you.
amazing. That was skunk.
That was the best basketball I've ever seen.
I quit basketball since then.
That's a good way.
Okay,
to
you want to know something crazy?
What?
That I thought I might have told you this already, but he went on a training arc because of that, and he's like destroying people now. And he hunts me. He like texts me all the time randomly. I mean, he's the nicest guy ever.
Yeah.
So it's really funny, but he will text me every now and then, be like, "So when are we playing that game again?" Like that. He told me that was his turning point.
It had to be.
I beat him so bad.
That'd be my turning point too.
Just my fat ass, just skunking this.
A skunk
6'10".
too?
Yeah, the skunk was crazy.
So who'd you lose to last though? Like, we're getting too much on winning.
I haven't played it in a long time, but last streamer games it was the Duke Dennis's team.
Got it.
But I played like shit.
You can't beat Duke Dennis no.
I didn't even get invited this year to the game, so that's all. I mean, I would never be able to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was so bad they were like, "Don't come back." No, I'm kidding.
I know. Put your jerseys in the rafter, bro. It's over, bro. Start a family.
Hasan versus Obama. Yeah, no. Yeah. It's me. No, I'm like Jordan. I'm playing baseball.
Yeah.
I'm not very good, but I moved into a different territory. I might come back. You know, who knows? But man, the Duke's aura threw you off, and you
That's
think you can
exactly. Obama's aura would have threw you all the way off.
Crazy, bro. I did not lose the Duke Dennis team because he has aura. What are you guys talking about?
That boy losing the aura.
Yeah.
You think he'd be Obama? Come on now.
That's crazy. Yeah, he just went out there and he looked so good. I was like, I can't do this. Yeah, no, it was what's his face, J-Dubs, and that whole team was incredible.
You think you can beat Mandani?
It was
in
also
basketball? I wouldn't be surprised if Mandani can hoop.
He can't. He plays soccer.
Oh,
he can't hoop. He also can't lift. He literally. There was a video of him trying to do 135. And he can't do one.
Sheesh.
Yeah, that was a big aura loss for him.
Hey,
I was a little worried.
You don't need to
when
lift weights to be mayor, though.
Yeah, exactly. But I was a little worried that when that video came out, I was like, oh no.
So I'll give you.
Will
Mandani.
this cook his chances? I hope not.
I'll give you Mandani then.
Yeah.
I believe in you for that one. I'm just trying to think about anybody. Do you think you can be any political streamer in basketball?
No. Oh, political streamer?
Yeah.
So, Charlie Kirk.
Okay, he played football. He's a pretty good
hooped.
quarterback.
No, Charlie Kirk hooped.
Yeah.
Very well,
Mm-hmm.
actually, surprisingly. I mean, so I don't know. I think he would have been like probably the toughest, my toughest battle. if we're being real. He is dead? Yeah, no shit. I meant like when he was alive. I didn't mean right now. Rick Scott, he's complaining already. Tonight, CNN let Hasan Piker and others dispute byline of the Gaza journals, and Piker actually said he would vote for Hamas over Israel. I'm not surprised that a man who says I should be killed would say that. I'm surprised CNN would give this garbage a platform. He cries so much.
You say he should be? Yes, he said.
No,
I remember that.
He's the guy who constantly complains and says like he wanted me killed, and it's like I didn't actually say that, but it doesn't really matter because everyone hates him so much that no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
And what's the funnier thing is that now people are actually like, no, he was right for saying it. So now people are just like, he brought this upon himself, weirdly enough, where now people keep repeatedly saying, well, maybe he's right. And I disavow it, obviously, but it's just funny. All right.
I don't trust people with two first names.
Yeah, that's my reasoning for not liking Rick Scott. Not that he is.
But I do love Jill Scott.
Jill Scott?